Further debates. Honorable J. Tobayo.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to air my voice on this Amendment Bill number 3. I rise today not merely as the Member of Parliament of Kwekwe Central constituency, but as a servant of the people who sent me here to defend the Constitution of Zimbabwe and the liberation ideas upon which our nation was founded. As young people in Zimbabwe, we stand guided by the Constitution because democracy is built on regular elections and the people's right to choose their leaders. We do not want to return to the system where a few individuals hold power and abuse power without seeking a fresh mandate from citizens. Our future lies in strengthening the democracy, accountability, and voice of every Zimbabwean, not going back to the practices associated with the colonial era, the Smith era. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also want to speak about the will of the people of Kwekwe Central. This bill concentrates on power and ignores the suffering of the people, the unemployment, the drug abuse, the economic hardships in Zimbabwe. Madam Speaker, ma'am, Zimbabwe needs reforms that create jobs, protect rights of the citizens, and restore public trust, not amendments that politically terms while citizens are suffering. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also strongly oppose the provision that seeks to draw traditional leaders further into the partisan political process. Chiefs occupy a special place in our society. They are custodians of our culture, traditions, and community values. Their authority rests on their ability to serve all the citizens, family, regardless of political affiliations. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also want to speak about the role of the defense forces. Our constitution wisely places loyalty not to individuals, parties, or government, but to Zimbabwe itself through the constitution. Nations remain stable when institutions protect the constitution. They become unstable when institutions are expected to protect those who hold office through some clever or rather unclever political lines inserted in our constitution as an amendment. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also want to concentrate on the issues which are affecting people of Kwekwe Central. The people of Kwekwe Central are expecting the bill to solve the issues of the shuramatongo, which is affecting the people of Kwekwe Central, the disease which is called silicosis. They are expecting the government to solve that problem. Also, the people of Kwekwe Central are expecting the bill to help the families suffering from that trauma of the disease called silicosis. Yapedza vana veMkwekwe Central. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also want to talk about the will of the people. Madam Speaker, ma'am, let me just talk about the bill itself. Madam Speaker, ma'am, all I know is the bill, if the bill is going to pass, but the people of Zimbabwe are not going to accept it. Even if the bill is going to pass, the people of Zimbabwe are going to concentrate on the issues which are affecting them, on the issues which are affecting the young people of Zimbabwe. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also want to state this issue. The people of Kwekwe Central, they are strongly opposing the amendment bill number 3 I so submit.
Further debates, I call upon Honorable Taetswa.
maita basa mubato wechigaro nokundipa mukana uno wakasununguka kudai. Ini ndakamira pano, ndakamira vanhu vekuAirport South zvichienderana nemusi watete mapublic consultation. Panga pani Airport South nevanhu vekumabvuku Tafara vai nhamba yavo yaisvika kundosvika ku almost kuma 20,000 vanhu. Hana kumboona kana umwe chete akaramba nebhiri reri. Vese vaitofara vachitoti bhiri rinonaka zvisingatombobviri. Vese vaifarira. Ndakatarisa musha wandomirira unonzi Airports muno muHarare, ndo musha unogara vanhu vanotambudzika dzimba dzisina kumira zvakanaka. Saka naizvozvo kumashure kwese uku paingonzi ndo kumusha kunogara mbavha, ndo kumusha kunogara vanhu vasina kumira zvakanaka. Asi nokutungamirwa paMunangagwa izvozvi marodhi akiiswa, mvura dzakiiswa, mabhoho akiitwa, zvikoro zvakiitwa, zvese zvakugadzirwa zvakanaka. Saka vanhu vakuti aiwa bhiri toda kuti ripite rakadaro rese bhiri rori nokuti rakanaka zvisingatombobviri. Saka vari kufara zvisingaiti vanhu vekuEPWEL kuti ochitimiririra inda undosita mashoko akuti aiwa zvidobidobi zviri paMunangagwa tinozvifarira. Naizvozvo tinotarisa kuti bhiri rine kugura paMunangagwa ndakuenda kuwedzerwa kweelection cycle, kwekuwedzerwa kwemakore maviri pamakore mashanu. Tinotarisa kana even vanhu vanoverenga mubhuku raJacob vanoti ivo Jacob akasenza kwemakore 7 achisenzera mudzimai chaiye akazomupuwa. Saka zvotaridza kuti nhamba yetoti 7 kana kuti manongwe yacho yakanaka, inoenderana nezvinhu zvinoitwa zvinobatika kwenguva inenge yasendwa refu murudo mune zvinhu zvakanaka. Tikatarisa kuti tsika nemagariro edu kumaruzevha kumushoko kunobikwa inonzi 7 days ndari, inobikwa after 7 days. Kumachuwa kwayo inomachuwa after 7 days zvichienderana ne7 years kuti 7 years idzinhu dzakasimba. Tazotarisa futi vhiki inonzi wiki ine mazuva 7. Panonzi mazuva 7 iwawo Mwari paakasika nyika azorora akazuva zuva rechi7 zvikanzi zuva rinofanira rakakosha uye rinofanira riri holi pachirungu. Saka zvinoreva kuti 7 years dzichatiitwa pakanaka pasingambobviri. Ndingati zvangu pazvese zviri mubhiru ndiri kusapota futi zvemachief kuti machief vakamufana nevanhu vakamufana nesu, uye zvakare zvinhu zvataurwa vanenge vari munyaya dzevhunyori vanofanira kupinda mumatongerwo enyika nokuti ndovhu racho ravanenge vachitonga. Machief ngaaende ipapo tinovada. Tozoona kuti mukatarisa zvinhu zvatinenge tichiitirwa neSecond Republic tisingashori First Republic, mabasa aitwa enyika yense isiri EPWEL chete. Muri kuona kuti tine trabablas, tine mabvuku interchange zvinorerutsira vanhu mabvuku interchange. Munhu achida kubva kuchitungwiza atanga apinda mutown akutongonanga straight neEPWEL ichienda kumabvuku. Munhu wekumuruwa haachaende mutown. Saka zvitaudza kuti upenyu hwavanhu hunenge vachigara zvakanaka. Saka ndisingada hangu kupedza nguva dzakawanda ndiri kuti vagari vekuEPWEL vari kusapota bhiri iroro rese rakadaro, kwete kumbosiya kana chinhu chimwe chete. Ndatenda.
Further debates, I call upon Honorable Badiro.
Mazvita yenyu bati wechigaro ndakutenda mukana wamandipa ndise mazuva ndatumwa nevanhu vemagunje constituency. Vanga chonditi ko chanetsa chii mazuva awandisa zvinhu zvisikafambi. Ndakati ano ndo zvazvinofanira zvichiitwa. Pane mubato wechigaro ndinofanira kuti muno mudare totanga tanamata kuda tokudza musiki weda ndizvi. Tinoverenga mapisarema 115 verse 5 zvainotaura inoti mune masekuona asamuone nenzeve dzokunzwa asamunzwe ndobvunza kuti mwari aimboreva kuti chii ndozviri kuitika pazuva ranhasi. Ishoko rakanyorwa maybe 100 years ago, but nhasi tiri kuzviona nhasi uno kuti mune masekuona samunzwe mukuru wedu wenyika ari kutaura kuti zviri kuitika zvese zvari kugadzira marodzi, madhamu, madaimani, marodzi, vanhu havasi kuzviona. Kwangu kwandinobva kumakunzi constituency tine chipatara chataunzirwa Dr. ndodara kuti anotanga mwedzi unoyu zvinhu zvakaitwa neSecond Republic. So zvinhu zvinofadza, vanhu vari kufara nazvo kuti dai mapamhidzira makore from 5 years to 7 years kuti zvitendere mberi. Ndoramba ndichienda mberi, ndodara kuti vaminisa vedu ndo minisa vanomira vanonzwa ziva kuti majere kuti jaji akatonga munhu 5 years munhu anga anambogara kuremind kwemazuva 2 years gore. Musi vanotanga kutongwa 5 years najaji kana majesty anotangira ipapo. Saka kuti ko imimi muchatangirawo ipapo here pamuchatonga papa mutongo ipapo uchadzikisa unzizi wa 7 years muchatangira here ipapo kana kuti muchatangira zvokumashure. Saka tichazozwana minisa kuti tichavabvunza kuti vanotibatsire panyaya ivo. Vanhu ndodara kuti tichatangira vanzi matakajakana nyaya dzemwana ndizvi. Saka tofanira kutangira pa7 years pavanenge vata mutemo wakunzi mutemo kuti tane 7 years. Mubati wechigaro ndoendera mberi nchiti 1980 patakawina maelection kwakusina zvinhu zvaichiitika izvi, but ndinodara kuti pa 2000 ndopakatanga nyaya patakapiwa masanction nevapambi pfumi, ndopakatanga nyaya dzese dzokuti titange kunetsana. So ndodara kuti zvakuitwa zvaunzwa naminisa kuti tibatsirwe kuti ma-MP ndo vachange vachisa ndekuti nyaya iripo ndeyapresident, because ma-election akansela haaite nhoyo, a-MP haaite kunetsana kwakanyanya, but ma-election ari kuitika noise ndeapresident. Saka ndiri kuti zvakadaro dai munhu wese ari muno tatsigira ndingoti takatsigira kudhara hapasina chachamira kuti zvinenge zvichiitika because zvakatoitika kudhara. Ndoda kutenda kuti mazviita henyu.
Further debates, I call upon Honorable Jimu.
Maita basa mubati wechigaro. Chokutanga ndinoda kutenda nguva yamandipawo kuti ndiisewo manzwi maviri matatu munyaya yeCAB3 ndakamirira vagari veHarare Central. Vagari veaya yekanangura kuti kana iri extension iri kuda kuitwa ye2 years, ivo pfungwa dzavo vanga vachiti tadi kuti itiwe iri transitional government or government of national unit. Iyo inenge ichibatanidza vese vakapinda musarudzo 2023 zvichiburukidzira ivo president vamuna makore iyayo maviri. Point of order.
Honorable Jimu, the only recognized president of Zimbabwe is none other than President Emerson Mnangagwa. May you withdraw because Chamisa is not a president of Zimbabwe. Please withdraw your statement.
Maita basa mbati wechigaro ndino withdraw mashoko. Kechipiri vanhu veHarare Central vakuti makore maviri iyayo tikaita zvatiri kutaura izvozvo tinenge takuongorora nyaya yema-electoral reforms nenyaya yekuti tiite sarudzo dzedu dzinotevera pamberi apo 2028 iyo dzakanyatsonaka pasina anozotaura pane kubiridzirwa. Kwauya nyaya yemadzimambo, Harare Central iri kutaiwa, madzimambo ngaarambe ane basa rawo rokutonga vanhu misha vasauye panyaya dzekutongwa munyaya yepolitics. Ngavarambe vachiita basa ravo mumaruwa umomo rokutonga nekuchengetedza tsika nemagariro dzevanhu. Touya nyaya yezeki. Nyaya yezeki Harare Central iri kutaura kuti aiwa voters registration iyoyo voters roll ngairambe iri kuzeki maringe nekuti kochicha konzera kuti titize zeki iyoyi tichidzokera kumashure kwatakambobva kwaregister general. Saka seHarare Central tiri kuramba kuti zeki itoregwe mamwe masimba. Tiri kutokurudzira kuti iyoyi zeki itore zviga zvakasiya zvatarirwa nesadhaki. Sadhaki ine marecommendation yakasiya yaisa kuti kana muchida kuzoita maele kuti tachifanira kuve tichiita noizi muno yekuti vawane mabasa vanhu vari kunyanya kugara. Ndichipedzisa nekupeta ndinokuti Harare Central yati CAB3 kana ichida kuenda mberi kana extension ichida kuenda mberi tiri kukumbirawo referendum todzokera kuvanhu tonoti vanhu voti kana vachikurudzira vachirida bhiri redu toona kuti vanovhota yes ndochipedzisira ndichiti Harare Central taramba. Harare Central yaramba CAB3 ndatenda hangu batwe chigaro.
I call upon Honorable Talaziva.
Kufara nekutenda zvikuru neCAB3. Saka zvandichataura pano ndozvavakandituma kuti ndiwe nditaure kudare rino. Madam Speaker, vanhu vari kuti aiwa tinotenda neterm extension yawedzerwa makore mairi, asi vanga vaine kutaura kwavanga achiita Madam Speaker, vamwe vanga vatoti 2040 kana 2050 chaiyo. Ndichitenda Madam Speaker, ndichishamisika ndine mumwe wangu wavakidzani vandinavo vairi vanosanganisira vemarondera East anodzi Mtokonye naCaston Mateo vemarondera Central. Mumwe wangu wandazoshamisika kuti hunhu haazoita hwazobva kupi nekuti anga ati achatisapota.
Madam Speaker, on a point of order, Madam Speaker. No. We cannot allow Munachi attributors not around. Madam Speaker,
Honorable Hamauswa, Karepasi. Honorable Chancellor, you may proceed.
The right to raise a point of order. No, but Honorable Mateuka.
Honorable Hamauswa Karepasi. Honorable Chancellor, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, ndoda kutenda nemukana wa Mandipa. Ndichitenda nemukana wadzikana zvikuru ndichiona munhu wangu achibuda nekuti anga ati pamunosumuka ndichange ndichisapota nekuti kwake kwakatanga kutobuda mvura mumatepi nekucherwa kwakawanda mabhoro mumarondera central. Saka anga ati zvamuchataura inini handikwanisa kuzvitaura pamberi pevanhu. Saka angati iwe munhu wangu semuvakidzani wangu chenda unotaura kuvanhu kuti bhiri ipo zvokuti point of order.
Honorable Chikumbu, your point of order is raising from what? You were not there when they were talking. May you sit down? Honorable Tasso, I may proceed.
What point of order, Madam Speaker?
Is raising from what?
You have not heard what I am trying to say here, so you cannot.
Yes, not lied. You were not there. He's narrating his issue. Allow him to debate. Allow him to be heard in silence.
My point of order, Madam Speaker, is you cannot speak on behalf of someone and they cannot defend themselves.
I told you you were not. Honorable Chikumbu, you're from Harare, you're not from Marondera. Allow Honorable Tasso to proceed.
It's wrong, Madam Speaker.
The out of order.
It's wrong, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Tasso.
Madam Speaker, ndinotenda nekundipa mukana nekuti achada kupedza nguva yevana asi kutaura chokwadi iye Honorable ndiye aitocheya kumarondera ikoko akati bhiri rakanaka chaizvo.
On a point of privilege.
Abuse Honorable Mateo like that. No, because he's not here, you can't abuse. Order.
No, Madam Speaker.
You are not disturbing the session. May you take your seat? Honorable Tasso, you may proceed.
Madam
Speaker, meti mchisi uqalisile zama ukuhleleka kancane mathi iye watsho ndiye akatshiya kuma-chief state.
Point of order.
Ladies.
Honorable Tasso, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, ndotenda ndoda kungotiwo inini zvandiri kutaura pano ndataura kuti nditaure izvozvo naini.
Nani.
Point of order. Madam.
Order. Honorable Nyamuko. Order. Honorable Mamipiri, you may take your seat. Honorable Tawaziba, may you stick to the debate that was presented by the Honorable Minister.
Yes, a point of order.
That's how I should greet Honorable Mamipiri.
No, it's not in relation with that.
Madam Speaker, ndichiendera mberi ndisikadopedza hangu nguva ndakuti mumwe wangu mtokonyi uyu wemuvakidzana anoshokukira izvozvo takagara pasi.
Point of privilege.
This one is
point agwa kwaita trabablas ikoko kwedu kumarondera uku zvinova zvekusamitsa vanhu kutayewa amunangagwa waita mabasa makuru kana ivo vakomana vakango
kuti kupikisa tinopikisa yetu asa Mnangagwa vari kugona. Saka tatakazongogumirana tichiwirirana. Inini ndine umboni zvandakataura kana vaita nharo ndinoburitsa mavhidhiyo acho. Akati Bill ngaripinde zvamuchose. Maita henyu Madam Speaker.
Further debate, I call upon Honorable Muombi.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Muombi, may you take a seat?
Yeah.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, my plea is let's allow people to debate. Honorable members are standing up and saying, my people told me this. We are not unable to verify. So if people discuss what they discuss, I think let's allow debate. Otherwise, I implore you to invoke the rules because some of these point of orders are useless. They are meant to drag debate.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, let's allow members to debate and to be heard in silence. Let's allow the procedure to flow without any disturbances. Honorable Muombi, you may proceed.
Maita basa bato echigaro. Ini ndiri kusumuka kutsigira bill number 3 rakaunzwa mudare muno na Honorable Minister of Justice Honorable Ziyambi. Ini ndakamirira mhuri yeMakoni North kunova kwandinobva vanovayo vakandisa mudare rino reParliament. Ndiri kusapota bill iri zvakasimba. Ndakamirirazve kuManicaland kwatinobva ikoko takamirira vechidiki kuprovince kweduku vari kuti bill number 3 bhozve kuti saka mhuri yeMakoni North yandituma kuti ndiuye muno mudare nditi zvekutsara mutungamiri wenyika hanzi ngazvingoitwa kuParliament ikoko nekuti isu patinokuvhoterai kuMakoni North uko tinenge tatokupai simba rakawandisa rekuti munoita zvese zvamunoita makatimirira ikoko. Makoni North vari kuti zvakare vari kusapota kuti presidential term limit yapresident maMP makanzelazi edu iextendwe kuenda ku7 years nekuti zvinobatsira kuti nyika igadzikane tidevelope nyika yedu yeZimbabwe iende mberi vanhu vaone kugara zvakanaka. Vana vekuMakoni North vari kusapota zvakare kuti voter registration zvakakosha kuti imuvwe iende kwaregistrar general. Izvozvo zvichabatsira kuti zvinhu zvedu zvinge zvakarongeka pange paine coordination yakasimba inoita zvinhu zvedu zvinge zvisingazotinetse kana taakuita musarudzo pasazoite vanochema vachiti vari kubirirwa kati vari kuitwa sei. Saka izvozvo tiri kuzvitsigira zvakasimba izvozvo. Asiwo inini madzimai edu ekuMakoni North vari kuti Zimbabwe Gender Commission dai yanga yamboramba iripo nekuti inobatsiridza kuti kubatsiridza mabasa kana kuti kuona kodzero dzemadzimai kuti dziri kubatwa zvakanaka here muZimbabwe. Saka izvozvo tiri kuti dai Gender Commission yamboramba iripo, asiwo vari kuti kana zvazonetsesesa ikazonzi yamubva kuenda kuHuman Rights Commission, zvakakosha kuti kucommission ikoko kunge kuine at least department kati bandiko rinenge richidhila nezvemagender issues so that zvirambe zvakachengetedzwa. Ndinoona zvakare kuti panyaya yematraditional leaders apa dai matraditional leaders ava vamboramba vachingoita zvavari kuita izvozvi vasapindire mune zvematongerwo enyika zvakanyanyisa nekuti zvinobatsiridza kuti pavanenge vachitonga nyaya dzavo kuground uko vange vari yatinoti pachirungu neutral, zvinova zvinopa confidence kuvanhu vavanenge vachitungamirira kunharaunda kwavagere. Madam Speaker mem, iri bill iri inini ndinoona rakanaka zvekuti richabatsiridza nyika yedu yeZimbabwe kuti iende mberi ifambirane nezviri kuitika pasi rese zviri kuita kune dzimwe nyika. Ukatarisa dzimwe nyika dzatinowadzana nadzo pasi rino dzakatanga vana China, ini ndiwo kwandakadzidza ndikagara nguva yakareba. nyika dziri very stable asikari pachirungu dzine maeconomies ari very progressing ari kuenda mberi. Saka but ukatarisa nyika idzodzo hakutorina zvemaelection, kutori neyatinoti one party state. Izvozvo ndo zvandinotoona inini kuti pamwe pacho ndo zvinotodiwa muZimbabwe muno, kuti Zimbabwe titoita one party state, nekuti zvimwe nguva opposition anenge aripo kana yatoti democracy pachirungu iyaye haina zvainotibatsira, ndeyekungofadza hanzi vana John White zvakaimbwa naWeje. Honorable Tsvangirai vangu varapa ndakadzanawo kuChina, vaigara vachifada vari kuChina ikoko vachiti munyika muno makarongeka zvisingaiti. Kurongeka kwavaitotaura ikoko kunotokonzereswa nekuti China ine one party state, and vanongorongera pamwe chete zvataurwa negovernment, central government yavo ndo zviri kuteedzera munhu wese, and vanoita long term planning nekuti zvinhu zvavo zvinenge zviri stable. Sometimes my election akuti waste time, especially isusu tine maeconomies achiri madiki, kungori nyaya dzisina kwazvinotisvitsa zvekuswera tichingoita maelection, nekuti chinozoda tinzi isusu seZimbabwe tiri developing third world economy inyaya kuti hatina mari. Saka mari inowanikwa nekuti isusu kana tiri nyika ichiri kusumukira ngatisevhei mari, tichirima, tichitengesa kunze kwenyika, tichichera zvicherwa, tosevha mari iyoyo, ndoenda tiise mari muzvipatara, ndoenda tibhadhare maticha masalari akakwana, macivil servants. Zvinoda mari, hazvidi democracy. Democracy haidyiwe nengochemerwa nevanhu, nyika inoda mari kuti iende kuberi. Saka isusu ngatichengetedze mari yatinenge tina iyoyo, toita maelection even after kana 10 years ndodza ndotosapota inini zvitori nani. Saka inini ndinotsigira nyaya idzodzi bhiriro riri zvakasimba. Zvimwe zvese amushuwa zvambotaurwa nevanhu, hatichanyanyi kuda kudzokorora hedu, asi isusu kumaKoni North tiri kuti biwi ribo zvekuti ngarifambe rakadaro, ngariende mberi, tobatana isusu vana veZimbabwe, tovaka Zimbabwe tichiita chinhu chimwe chete, zvinhu zvedu zvobva zvaendeka. Haiwa, ndinotenda nehonorable Madam Speaker.
Further debate, I call upon Honorable Mazhindu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to convey the views and aspirations of the people of St. Mary's. The people of St. Mary's have made it clear that they still want to choose their president, their member of parliament, and their councillors. They also hope that one day Parliament will allow them to choose their mayor. Madam Speaker, I have carefully examined the 2023 harmonized elections in my constituency, and indeed in many parts of the country. No member of parliament or councillor received more votes than their presidential candidate. In my view, at the season coalition for change, President Nelson Chamisa polled more than...
Honorable Mazhindu. Honorable Mazhindu, withdraw your statement.
I withdraw. The presidential candidate for Triple C, Nelson Chamisa, polled more than any candidate that stood under the same ticket in the 2023 harmonized election. So, Madam Speaker, if you take away the people's rights to directly elect their president, we would be moving backwards from the democratic principle of one man.
Order.
Yes.
Honorable Minister.
That is very dangerous and insightful. We have a president who won in Zimbabwe. So reference to his constituents in terms of presidential election does not arise. He must speak about his constituency in terms of his constituents, not a national election, and insinuate that Chamisa won. That is very dangerous, and I think he must withdraw that statement.
Honorable Mazhindu, may you stand guided and may you withdraw your statement.
I stand guided.
May you withdraw your statement.
I withdraw. But it's for the fact that
Honorable Mashidu, may you withdraw the whole sentence?
Madam Speaker, what I'm putting here is the presidential candidates polled more than their parliamentary and council candidates.
Honorable Mashidu, may you withdraw?
I withdraw. Furthermore, Madam Speaker, electing the president within the walls of this house risks diminishing the office of the president. The president of the Republic of Zimbabwe derives the legitimacy from the millions of Zimbabwean voters across the country. That mandate cannot be equated to a vote conducted among the members of parliament alone. The office of the president is a national office, not a merely parliamentary office. Madam Speaker, His Excellency Dr. Idim Nangagwa has consistently reminded us that no one and no place should be left behind. So electing people in this house, electing a president in this house is exactly against this mantra. For this reason, I respectively urge this house to remove the clause and preserve the people's constitutional right directly to their president. Madam Speaker, I move to clause 8 of the constitutional amendment bill. It seeks to empower the president to appoint an additional 10 senators.
You're left with 2 minutes.
The population of 16.7 million, already consisting of in the parliament of 360 members, which translates to roughly 46,000 members, people per member of parliament. So when compared to other jurisdictions, Zimbabwe is already the most legislator dense parliamentary systems. South Africa, the population of 60 million, is approximately 1 legislator for every 129,000 citizens. While China, with a population of 1.4 billion, is approximately 473 citizens per MP. These figures raise important questions about the size and cost of efficiency of our parliament. Before we contemplate increasing the number of legislators, we must first demonstrate that the current parliament is operating a cost of governance, not expanded. This provision further concentrates power in the hands of the executive. Parliament's constitutional right is to represent the people, make laws and provide oversight over the executive. Increasing the presidential appointees risks weakening the principle of representative democracy and may create a state that is more accountable to the authority.
Your time is up, Honorable Mashidu.
Good evening, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise today to support the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3, 2026, and to commend the Honorable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziambi, for bringing before this House a constitutional reform agenda aimed at strengthening governance, improving institutional efficiency, and accelerating national development. Madam Speaker, constitutions are living documents. They must evolve to address emerging realities and national aspirations. After more than a decade of implementing the 2013 Constitution, it is both prudent and responsible for Parliament to Madam Speaker, the question before this House is, will these amendments strengthen our institutions, improve service delivery, and help Zimbabwe achieve its developmental goals. I firmly believe they will. Madam Speaker, I strongly support clause 3 and 4. These clauses seek to promote political stability, continuity, and policy consistent development is not achieved overnight, Madam Speaker. Major infrastructure projects, industrialization programs, irrigation schemes, power generation projects, and housing developments require time, consistent, and uninterrupted implementation. Madam Speaker, under the leadership of His Excellency President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, Zimbabwe has witnessed significant development through the construction and rehabilitation of roads, dams, airports, border posts, schools, and health facilities. Programs such as rural development, devolution initiatives, and the ongoing modernization of our economy require continuity if they are to deliver maximum benefits to our people. Madam Speaker, development requires stability. Development requires continuity. Development requires certainty. Madam Speaker, a 7-year cycle provides government with sufficient time to implement long-term projects and allows the nation to focus more on development and less on perpetual election cycles. Madam Speaker, I also support clause 9, 10, and 11, which strengthen our electrical administration. These amendments introduce a clear separation of responsibilities among institutions. The Registrar General maintains the voters' roll. The Electrical Delimitation Commission manages constituent boundaries, and the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission conducts the election. This specialization improves efficiency, professionalism, and public confidence in the electoral process. It also ensures that electoral boundaries are determined well in advance of election, thereby enhancing transparency and fairness. Madam Speaker, I equally support clauses 15 and 16, which strengthen the justice delivery system. A highly qualified Attorney General enhances the quality of legal advice available to government and strengthens the rule of law. Expanding access to the Constitutional Court promotes legal certainty and ensures constitutional questions are resolved efficiently and authoritatively. Madam Speaker, I strongly support clauses 8, 20, and 21 concerning traditional leadership. Chiefs remain custodians of our culture, land, tradition, and community government structures. In many rural communities, they are the first point of contact between citizens and government. Retaining chiefs in the Senate ensures that rural communities continue to have a voice in national lawmaking. Expanding the advisory role of the Council of Chiefs allows traditional leaders to contribute meaningfully to legislation affecting land, local governance, and rural development. Madam Speaker, these reforms recognize the important role traditional leaders continue to play in Strong institutions promote economic growth. Policy consistent encourages development. Reduced political conflicts allows government to focus on service delivery. Madam Speaker, for these reasons, I fully support Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3, 2026, and I urge this Honorable House to pass it in the interests of national development, institutional stability, and future generations of Zimbabwe. Madam Speaker, I so submit for the interest of time. Thank you.
Further debate, I call upon Honorable Chiwa.
Maita Madam Speaker, nokunipa mkano wakadai kuti ndiwedzere pa debate rakakosha munyika medu. Ini ndakamirira Chiredzi West constituency. Chokutanga regai nditi Madam Speaker, Chiredzi West constituency iri kuchema following bhazi raita njodzi rarovera muchitima pafa vanhu vanokwana 926 vari muchipatara. Saka tiri kuchema, asi tichichema hedu iri basa riri panapa national duty rakakosha rataona kuti hatingakoni kuriita. Ndoda kutenda Honorable Minister vedu vaziyambi nokuunza bhiri rakakosha kudai ichava nhoroondo muparliament ino nemunhoroondo yeupenyu hwedu kuti takambouya tikachinja mutemo wenyika wakakosha tichivaka nyika yedu sezvizvi. Isu kuChiredzi West ndizvo kuti hatitauri hedu pamusoro pemunhu asi standard yaita kuti tose tihwisise kuti constitution ikai ngatiamendei yakonzerwa nestandard of development yatinoona yatiri kuona tichirarama mairi tiri kuChiredzi West. Tiri kuChiredzi West tisu takanangana nedhamu reTokwemukosi. Ndakawa umwe mutauri wekuChiredzi achiti vanhu vanongoritaira vachishava mabasa. Ndikati dei anga adizevezera andibvunza ini saMP wagara ndamuratidza kuti vanhu vangani vari kupinda mabasa kuChiredzi izvezvi matsva akagadzirwa napresident vedu. Tiri kuChiredzi Tokwemukosi tine basa riri kutoitika izvezvi ratiri kuti by 31 December 19,000 hectares of plantation the current yakavugwa navari 400 years ipa 45,000 but tiri kuzviita munguva doko tetatodarika half yedevelopment yakaitwa ne100 years. 45,000 hectares dziripo dzina vashandi vanosvika 25,000. Isu kana tavhura 19,000 by December kureva kuti tinenge tava neover. Bvunzai vana venyu vauye vashande uku kuri kushandiwa madevelopment anoonekwa nababa vaMnangagwa. tiri kuita inonzi reorganization. Rimwe gore takagwadziwa hakuna chinhu chinokwadza sokutukwa nourema hwaunenge uinahwo huri hwechokwadi. Tatukwa noumwe waida chigaro akati makangogariswa sehowa. Takagwadziwa nekuti takagara sehowa. Asi hurumende yava Mnangagwa kuChiredzi West yauya neprogramu inonzi reorganization. Howa huya hwamaiti hwakangomera. Tavahugadziridza patsva, tichivapa mvura yekumwa yakachena, tichiisa namalaini amagetsi, vachidiridzira nemvura inobva kutokwe mukosi. Kwatinosha kuChiredzi West vashanda vanoshanda vandofunga kuti ndo vanonyanya kudiwa sterek nevekudivi rokuruboshwe kadzavo ilabor politics. Vashandi vavo chavanoda ijob security. Second Republic isati yauya vanhu vaigara vangobatira ura mumavoko. Kana unoda kukampeni vanoti ndoda kugurira minda, zoreva kuti minda ichatogwa yamaplantations iya vashandi vachabuda mabasa. Asi vaMnangagwa vauya hatina kuzombozviona izvo. Vashandi vose vanofara vari kumaplantations. Chinovafadza ndechekuti president vari kuuya vachitowedzera maplantations pane kutora zvisho ndozvoita tisu zvetinei tingochinja mutemo tichinga. So tinozvitaura izvozvo, tinowedzera futi tiri kuChiredzi kwamunohwa kunzi hanzi kuchipatara kwazodai Chiredzi General Hospital haisi yeconstituency 1, ichipatara chedistrict. Saka chiri chipatara chedistrict zvokwadi zvomene kana uri kuopposition ungazivi zvatinazo muhomwe yaMnangagwa. Izvezvi mazuva mashomanene anotevera muchahwa kuChiredzi tichibudisa school of nursing, asi kunonzi hakuna zviriko. Izvezvi mazuva anotevera mashomanene muchahwa tichitaura nyaya yerehabilitation yeChiredzi General Hospital. Inyaya yekuti zvipatara zvedu nepopulation yawedzera pane zvinoda kuvandudzwa, asi mukazvitarisa mavandudzirwo azvaitwa muSecond Republic yaMnangagwa, mukazvitarisa yatingati pachirungu memorandum yedevelopment yavapo, hakuna munhu akakwana ungati munhu unoshanda kudero tichimbomira. Isu tinoti vaMnangagwa regai varambe vachirova ndima, tombotenderana nemwe nhasi 2030, asi seChiredzi toona vachifanira kupfuurira mberi nemhaka yeiti tichidero. Tokwe mukosi ndoratava kudiridza naro zvei, asi tine dhamu redu guru rodarika Tokwe mukosi Rundetende raakutanga futi kuvakwa, ratiri kutoti kana ravakwa iri totoexporta nemvura chaya kutopawo nevari joni. Iyoyo vision iyoyo hatina umwe hatingavimba naye pavanhu vakararama. Smith wakaritaura kusvika abuda haana kuisa kana chitina chimwe. First Republic ikauya ikapfuura haina chayakaita. Second Republic yauya ndio yatinovimba nayo nekuti ndio yataona ine zvakawanda zvayaita zvinobatika. Tiri ipapo toti haiwa kuChiredzi West naimi Smith paakati ndoda UDI hazvichina basa nedzimwe nyika, wakanga achiti ndava neethanol plant asi wakabuda asina kuita. Peturo yogadzikwa muno munyika vedu weyi yamunoti blend yadeye muno neyekwadzo muno munyika. VaMnangagwa vava nembiri maplant maethanol plant, 1 iri kuTriangle ne1 iri kuChisumbanje. Zvakakoneka mwana Smith kana kuti zvakakoneka mwana varungu vaya vatatu vanogona vaya vakazvikonewa. VaMnangagwa vane maviri maplant ethanol. Isu tichitarisa izvezvi chiti kana mapedza 19,000 yamuri kudevelopa yepresident, itoisa imwe futi planned yechi3 muchirezi west kudevelopment trust of Zimbabwe, muise imwe nekuti maplande ariko hachakwani awo kuzogara land yatavhurai. Isai imwe futi kumukwasini. Izvozvo zvirongwa zvapa pamusoro pokutaka zvitarisa ka hatiwirirani uye tinowedzera kutsamwa tikava kutaura kuchiwedzera kuti asi kuti munoda kukakavara kuti president vedu vasvike 2030 munotigwadzisa zvasingambobviri. Regai vamunangagwa vamutse nyika ndochokwadi. Regai nyika yedu imuke. Tarima shuga yatiri kurima iye tichitaura maimboona ichishota iko zvina chashoti munyika. Pamusoro pacho shuga yacho tiri kutoexporta kune dzimwe nyika. Kana mazvitarisa izvozvo munobva maona kuti vamunangagwa vanogona. Rimwe gore tapedza maelection, mubato wechigaro, rimwe gore tapedza maelection, umwe mutungamiriri wakanga achida kuvhota wakavhunduka mavhoti ekuchiredzi akati mavhota nenzimbe. Zvazvinoratidza ndezvokuti anga asina rekodhi yavanhu vaida kuzotungamirira avhotegwa. Haisi mhosvazve yake kuti nemhaka yanga asina rekodhi. Ndo zvatiri kuti ngatigadzirisei voters registration edu iinde kuzvitupa kune marekodzi ose. Rekodhi ranga riri kuzeki rakatadza kuratidza mutungamiriri kuti azive kuti kuchiredzi kuna vanhu vakawanda zvakadai kusvika avhunduka mavhoti abuda adliwa. Saka ngatitsigire izvi kuti tisazovhunduka maelection apera moona muti mavhota nenzimbere kureva kuti hamuzivi vanhu vamunoda kutungamirira. Saka mubato wechigaro ndinokutendaiwo nenguva yamandipa iyoyi ndichikuudzai kuti mashoko andataura ose ava hapana kana rangu. Mashoko akabva kuchiredzi. Mashoko iwaya CAB3 zvayakanakidza ndezvokuti tichigadzirira hatina kumboona ma-MP kubatira pamwe sezvatakaita this time. Even munin'ina wangu dei anga achimo muhouse honorable Makumire avakamira chaizvo nechirori chavo vachitakura vanhu vachiuya navo public hearing. Handiti hatinazve kuhwa mhinduro yakabuda muchitsanga hwo kuchiredzi yakapokana nebhiri. Saka izvo vanenge votaurawo kunoku ndezvekumaembasi kwatinohwa kwavanoindawo kumusha hazvitaugwi izvi havazvitauri. Kumusha vavakasenga chemberi dzavakanotora kunana wadi 31 dzose dzakaya dzikati tinosapota bhiri ravamunangagwa. Saka ndozvinoita chiredzi ndozvatoziva izvozvo. Uye kana tava kuno vanhu vanongotaurawo vamwe unotosha kuti babawa. Saka zvatinobuda paTV uchionekwa nevana uchiita izvozvo unenge uchiti uri kuitei panguva yakakosha yekugadzira bumbiro renyika. Mutemo mukuru watiri kugadzira zvoga hausokuti ungauya muno utamba vanhu vakakutarisa. Tiri kugadzira nyika tichigadzira nhaka tichasiyira vana vedu tichiwedzera kusunungura nyika yedu payanga yakasungwa patasina kugadzira pamutemo. So namashoko angu mashomanene iwaya Mr. Speaker say ndinotenda tichitsigira bhiri.
Ndinotenda. The next honorable member to take the floor. Order. No shouting. It's not a beer hall. But you can go to second floor and do that there. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Metru.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite the fact that this House collectively conducted public hearings, it came up with the statistics which show that the majority of those who attended public hearings were in support of CAB3. My people in Epworth North came to me weeping. They said, Honorable Metru, Parliament trembled over our voice and misrepresented our views. Their message is clear. They reject this bill in total, not in part, not with amendments, but as a whole.
Order, Honorable Metro. I think your statement is, if it's coming from the people, it's very. Emiga, take a seat, Honorable Metro. To say Parliament trampled on our what did you say exactly? Can you repeat the statement?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Can you just repeat that statement?
Yeah, I'm responding to you, Mr. Speaker, sir. On this paragraph, I spoke about what the people of Epworth said.
What was that? What was that? Just say what?
As I said,
yes.
That's what they said.
What did they say?
But if you want me to withdraw, I withdraw for the sake of progress. Let's move on. Our constitution is the blood covenant signed by our fathers in the bush. Section 67.
Order, Honorable Metro.
Section 67, subsection 3.
Order, Honorable Metro. Rewind. I said, I want to hear that statement again.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw.
Honorable Metro. Hey. Honorable.
Okay, I hear you, Mr. Speaker. Let me go ahead. My people in Epworth North came to me weeping. They said, Honorable Metro, Parliament trembled over our voice and misrepresented our views. This message came from the people of Epworth, and they acknowledged that public hearings were done and the results were published in this house, which shows that the majority of people were in support of CAB3, but the people of Epworth are excluding themselves from such people.
Right. Thank you. I wanted to clarify that. Now, Honorable Metro, you are a member of the same August House, the Parliament you are talking about like that, and you honestly take such a submission from your people without correcting them to say, no, Parliament is an August House. I am talking. Honorable Chkumbu? Take your seat, Honorable Metro. I want us to fix this thing properly. Honorable Metro, as a responsible member of Parliament, when you go out there and people say such a statement about a house that you belong to, and you also take it bluntly like that and bring it here, are we honestly being honorable enough?
Mr. Speaker,
because why I'm asking that, public hearings were done and the people went around. Yes, not all the people go. A chance to speak. That is why I'm doing my job here. All right. Honorable Metro, it is totally wrong to do that, and I want you to withdraw it totally and unreservedly, and then we can move on. But please, I don't expect that from you. I know you personally, your character and everything. Aziti.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw.
Thank
I
you.
will proceed. Our constitution is the blood covenant signed by our forefathers in the bush. Section 67, subsection 3, every Zimbabwean citizen who is of 18 years or of age or over has the right to vote in all elections and referendums. If Parliament legislates broadening more voting rights for the people like what happened in 1990.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
I think we do not need people who
Please
can
take a
stand
seat. Take a
and
seat.
read the Constitution and stop midstream. You must finish what the Constitution says. If you want to
Honorable Metro,
quote the
take your seat.
Constitution,
Honorable Metro,
not to quote
take your
it and
seat.
you stop and then you give your own interpretation. I think we must, for the record, for those who are watching us, have the correct record rather than grandstanding, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Metro, can we be guided by simple things like that? let's do things parliamentarily. We are members of parliament who are called honorable for that one simple reason that we should do things in an honorable way. Please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If Parliament legislates broadening more voting rights to the people, like what happened in 1990, we all sing with joy. But to take away that sacred voting right or to alter it, we must kneel before the people first. We must beg their permission in a referendum. Section 328 of our Constitution commands it.
I demand that he reads what Section 67 says. Then he proceeds. Because he quoted it off. The Section 67 is very clear. He must speak to what Section 67 says if he wants to interpret Section 67.
Mr. Speaker, I will read Section 67.
Order, honorable members. Right.
It says, every citizen has the right to participate in a free, fair, and regular elections for any elective public office. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Go further on and finish.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, our duty in this house, we are lawmakers. And I expect every honorable member in this house to know this constitution offhand. For me to regurgitate it word by word, like we are in a kindergarten classroom, won't be fair to the people of Zimbabwe. Can you allow me to proceed by saying what the people of Epworth sent me to say in this house?
Order. Honorable Major, when you decide to quote the Constitution, you have quoted Section 67, subsection 1, and paragraph A. That's what we are reading. So when you do that, you must then quote it in full. You disregard the paragraph B going downwards. You wanted to speak about paragraph A, right? So read it like that as it is, so that we can all relate, because you must remember that this sitting is not only
point of order.
Benefit. I am still talking. Sit down.
Point of order.
Sit down. I'm still talking. I'm making a ruling here. They're saying point of order. And you're a law student. What kind of a law student are you?
No point of order,
No.
Mr. Speaker. We are now confused.
No.
Who is debating?
I am making a ruling.
Who is debating?
I am making a ruling.
Allow him to debate,
Please
please.
sit down.
Yes.
Please sit down. You are not the chair. You can't do that, Honorable Chachwa. Honorable Metro, I'm sorry about this, but I wanted us to be clear about this. When you quote the Constitution, quote the whole section properly, or the subsection or the paragraph, simple. It's standard. So please do that. I will give you all your time, but I wanted us to do the right thing.
Mr. Speaker, sir, can you allow me to proceed?
Please finish your quotation that you brought to us. I even opened my constitution.
A point of privilege, Mr. Speaker, sir. On a point of privilege. On a point of privilege. No, I have a point of privilege, Honorable Chief Whip. You're actually supposed to go and defend us.
Honorable Mausa.
No.
Honorable Mausa, no,
I have a point of...
Can you take your seat? Switch off your mic and take your seat. If you want to speak to your Chief Whip, go to him there. Right? No, you can't do that, Honorable Mausa. You can't just stand and start talking. Right. What's your point of privilege?
Mr. Speaker, sir, we trust your wisdom when you are seated there. But many a times, you are being guided by the leader of government business, which is unfortunate. And you are being directed to judge on us. And it's unfortunate for us, we make the laws, interpretations for the judges, for the judiciary. If there is anything that the Honorable Minister has to explain, he will have his time, and it was ruled by the previous speaker that honorable minister will have ample time, unlimited time, to explain his position. Allow him to debate in this house.
Yes.
But I didn't finish.
No, take your seat. It's all right. I where you're coming from. Take your seat.
But I didn't finish.
Please take your seat.
But we are disadvantaged, Mr. Speaker.
How?
It's unfair. On this side, we can't raise a point of order. On this side, they lie, they do whatever, they say whatever nonsense they want to say.
No. Honorable Mausa, what did you just say now? They say nonsense.
Some honorable members, they would say,
Buddha. 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 Nonsense.
I apologize, Mr. Speaker. I'm sorry. But my friends, I apologize.
Take road, Baba. Okay. I shall be lenient, but go out in Umurwa Neme. Ujazo, but next time you take road.
Mr. Speaker,
go on now.
Thank you. I want to speak about the vote, Mr. Speaker. The vote is sacred. Our uncles died in shallow graves for it. Our aunts were raped and beaten for it. Our mothers cooked for freedom fighters and bullets flying over their heads. And now we want to trade away with parliamentary arithmetic. Mr. Speaker, God forbid. I cannot do it. Raising my hand in support of this bill, it will be a betrayal to every orphan of the liberation struggle.
Just point of order. Mr. Speaker,
when you can take a seat when there's a point of order, Honorable Major. Yes, Honorable
Mr. Speaker, one of the points that we must also appreciate is when honorable members are debating, I have to respond. Even at the end, honorable members must learn to appreciate, to speak the truth when they are quoting the Constitution. And honorable members must quote our history correctly, because we never had a direct presidential election soon after independence. And I want him to withdraw that statement that he said, because that never happened at the birth of our independence.
Order. Honorable, did you say there was an election of the president soon after independence?
No,
Order. I'm talking to Honorable Major.
I said,
because we can check the answer for that.
No, I said,
yes.
If Parliament broadens voting rights like what they did in 1990, we all sing with joy. But to take away that right, we must kneel before the people and ask them through a referendum. Mr. Speaker, I would actually propose giving this paper, because that's where I was reading. Yeah, that's where it is.
Okay, you may go ahead. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Madam, Mr. Speaker, I think like anyone else, I would want to see impartiality. When an honorable member creates chaos and his time or her time is taken by those misunderstandings, you should treat the honorable member the same as you treated everybody else. In my situation, I lost all the time that I was supposed to debate, because you said my time was up and I accepted. So when there is these points of order and 10 minutes is up, it must be 10 minutes.
Order. Unfortunately, the clerks did not show me that time was up, because I'm not keeping time. They are keeping time for me. So once they show me, I'll be guided accordingly. You may carry on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for standing by your word. I remember you said I'm going to hold the time until all that fiasco ends. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to speak about Clause 4, which seeks to alter electoral cycle from 5 to 7 years. Mr. Speaker, is Zimbabwe so poor in leadership that one man must rule for 7 years to bring notable change? History teaches us that great work does not require endless time. Deng Xiaoping transformed China's economy in just over a decade in 1978 without extending his term. Sheikh Rashid Al Maktoum of Dubai built Dubai from sand in less than 15 years, turning a trading port into a global hub.
Honorable Medu, I'll give you another 1.5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, ndokunyara ndokumbira mundinyarewo ndingo mundipedzere 5 minutes. Ndakumbira
1.5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, ndikumbira mudzisvitse pa 5. Ndokunyara
1.5 minutes.
Ndokumbira 5.
1.5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, ndokumbira dzichatu. Mr. Speaker, msati mandipindura.
Ndako dzikutofamba taona time dzandakupa baba.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, sir, I look at you now. My soul is trembling. Do you want your name to be written in the history books as the first speaker who presided over the mutilation of our constitution? Do you want to be remembered as the man who undressed our army in cold winter, leaving our last line of defense naked before our enemies?
Order. Take your seat, and you shall not speak. Next honorable member to take the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to finish.
Please take your seat and switch off your mic. All right. The next honorable member, who said Nikandelu Teze? Chigumbu? Bye-bye. Chienda kumba. Iwe chienda kumba straight. Akona zokudzoka. Yenda kumba. Go home. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Einkani. Order. Please leave the house silently.
Maita basa mbati wechigaro nomukana wamandipa wokutura mashoko pamusoro pebhiru ratinaro muno ratiri kuti CAB3, mashoko anobva kumuso wokuchakari. Chekutanga mbati wachigaro ndechekuti ndoda kutenda imba ino nokuti chakari yakapiwa mukana wekuti inzwikwe. Kwakauya makorokota anga akatungamirirwa nahonorable Mangaliso, vanahonorable Tsvangirai vaivepo. Aiwa, zvakafamba zvakanaka, vangapupure kuti mhuri yechakari pakashayika kana mumwe chete akati bhiru harina kunaka, asi kuti vakati zvose zvakarongeka. Mubati wechigaro pakatanga kufamba mashoko evision 2030, zvinhu zvakatanga kudzikama. Upfumi hwenyika hwakatanga kudzikama, mari yenyika yakatanga kudzikama, mitengo yezvinhu yakatanga kudzikama, kana zvematongerwo enyika zvakatanga kudzikama. Kureva kuti mhuri yeZimbabwe inoda kudzikama. Mubati wechigaro, ndoda kupa mufananidzo wemvura. Kana kana mvura yakabvongodzwa hapana anoda kuimwa. Vanhu vanotomira kwenguva ichigadzana. Kana yagadzana, vanoda kumwa vomwa, vanoda kugeza vogeza. Nyika yedu inoda nguva yakareba tisiri mune zvemaelection ichigadzana. Nokuti kana yawana mukana wokugadzana, isu vekuchakari tinonyanya kuita zvekuchera. Vanhu vechakari vanoda mukana wokuti nyika igadzane, vaite basa, goridhe richerwe, nyika ibudirire. Vanhu vekuchakari varimi vanoda nguva yakareba isina maelection, isina mhirizhonga yokuti igadzane, vawane mukana wokurima, kuti vanhu vagute. Saka mhuri yechakari inotsigira zvakanyanyisa kuti maelection edu ngaaitwe kwapfuura makore anoita 7 zvichienda mberi. Mubati wechigaro panotaurwa kunzi pakuitwa maelection, unoona vakomana vari mumastiriti vachiti mari yadona, kungonzwa kuti kwane maelection, mhepo yacho yauya yadona, ichidonhedzwa nemunhu anosungira bhurukwe munomu, ndiye anenge achiti radonha iyeye. Saka ini ndinoti aiwa vision 2030 inodudzira kudzikama kwezvinhu. Iye zvino mari yedu yemuno munyika inonzi zigi iri kurema, iri kukosha. Vanhu vari kuita kuvhima zigi nokuda kwokuti pane nhaurwa yevision 2030. Mubati wechigaro, kana totaura nezvematongerwo enyika, kana kwane maelection hakuna kugadzikana. Hama nehama vazhinji yezvino havaonani. Saka ini ndiri kuti inini aiwa haisi election inodiwa nevanhu. Vanhu vanoda kugadzikana kwenyika. Vanhu vanoda zvinhu zvakarongeka. Vanhu vanoda mukana wokushanda, vanoda runyararo munyika. Saka ndinotenda zvikuru nerunyararo rwatinarwo kare. Ndinoti dai rwaramba ruchienda mberi kuitira kuti nyika yedu ive nekubudirira. Regai nditaure pamusoro pekuvhoterwa kwemutungamiriri wenyika neparamende. Ndinoshamisika kuti vanhu havatembi ma-MP avo avanenge vakaendesa kuparamende kuti anonosarudza mutungamiriri wenyika. Kuno kurutivi rwemba ino mubati wechigaro wakaona wabva kuvanhu wanzi chienda kumba yeparamende, vanhu vavimba newe. Saka havana dambudziko kuti unovasarudzira mutungamiriri wenyika. Zvakare mubati wechigaro, rutivi runorwo wakaona wakuuya kumba yeparamende kwedu kunana atete, kuno kurutivi kunana vatete vemusangano vanobika munhu. Wakaona waenda kuparamende aibva anonoita zvaanenge atumwa nevakamusarudza nevakamuunza kuno. Ameno vanotyira vavakatuma kuti vanozonosarudza asiri iye. Kwedu bodo, kwedu tinosarudza chaiye anenge achidiwa nevanhu. Ndinotenda point of order.
Order, Honorable Nkani. Yes, Honorable Nyati, what's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's 5 minutes to 10. Vanatete Awasmu bill. Can we concentrate on the bill and move on? Thank you.
Honorable Nyati, I've never known you to do that. Where does that spirit come from?
Mr. Speaker, we limited time to 10 minutes because we wanted to move on. But what the Honorable is talking about is not stuff that is in the bill. Can we concentrate on stuff that is in the bill and exhaust this?
Order. Honorable Nyati, when we give you 10 minutes, you choose what you want to talk about and say, as long as it's within the debate. And what he's talking about, maybe because you don't understand it, you don't have it the other side, maybe you have no structures. The other side have their structures, so they understand what he's saying. So please, those are the kind of points of order that I said that we don't need. That's why I'm surprised that coming from you. I will disregard that point of order. Honorable Nkani, please carry on.
Maita basambati wechigaro zvakawanda zvakataurwa nemakorokota inirega ndingopendera ndichiti wakaona munhu atanga kuvaka imba ari bhirida ambovaka kusvika window level motsvaga umwe bhirida moti ichivaka achingodosvika pagebho motsvaga zveumwe imba iyoyo inobhenda. Isu tiri kuti muridzi womuono musiyei nomuono akafambe nawo kusvikira vision 20 muone kuti chii chinobuda ipapo. Ndinotenda mubati wechigaro maita basa.
Tinotenda Honorable Nkani. Ndofunga mangambira kuedza kuti vision 2039
vision 2030 mubati wechigaro.
Tinotenda. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Matinyanya.
Maita basa mubati wechigaro. Tinotenda zvikuru nemukana wamatipa kuti tive tinotaura zviri kutaurwa nevanhu vekumbare. Chekutanga kumbare vakatenderana nenyaya yekuwedzera 2 years. Patakanopinda tichitaura nyaya iyoyo vakati manga matononoka kudhara tiri kutoida. Zvavari kuda zvavari kuitsigirira zviri kuitika zvavari kutaura zvakati wandei. Vari kuti tarisai kuti pakapinda Second Republic Parliament yatiri yezvino which yasununguka ende mukataurasa kuti yezvino tiri kugara zvakanaka muno pasina kana kumanikidzana. Endai pa-airport munoona mamiriro abaita which wega wega maclinics avakwa. Iye zvino tichitarisa akudarika 121 tichitarisa maclinics avakwa ne-Second Republic. Tine madhamu iwayo anosvika kuma 1200 arimo akavakwa ne-Second Republic. Iye zvino mukatatarisa kuti kungave kumaruva chero muno mutaundi mune ma-VBU akasiyana siyana ekuti vanhu vese zvino vari kuwana kurarama nekuda kwe-Second Republic. Muharare muno tikabuda takadai nekumasvingo mukaona manakiro akaita trabablas ndoona even chero vamwe vedu akusaidi rekuruboshwo vachipfuura nepavanenge vachisekerera hapaifambika netrafiki paya asi zvinowa mutserendende. Tichiuya kumbare kune vamwe vakanga vakabuda munyika kana kuti vasina kukwanisa kupinda mumbare kwegore
vakanopindamo mukantarisa musika mutsvawa kwavanga imomo wemhando yepamusoro yekuti unokanganwa kuti kumbare here. Tichinotarisa zvakare mukatatarisa tine maroads mazhinji ari kugadzirwa nyika yose nekuburikidza kwesecond republic. Tikada kunotarisa mabhodha edu akanga asingafambiki, vanhu vachiita mazuva nemazuva vachitadza kupinda pabhodha nenyaya yekuti pakanga pasina kunyatsovandudzika. Iye zvino pakavandudzika, zvinhu zviri kufamba zvakanaka. Tichienda kungaveko kumapasipoti, pasipoti hatichaita zvekumukira kuti unonogara gore rese uriko, kwakungoenda zvinhu zvedu zvichifamba zvakanaka, pasina nguva zvinhu zvedu zvinenge zvanaka. Tikada kunotarisa panyaya yezvicherwa zvemuno munyika, zvinomwisa mvura nekuti mari iri kubuda ichibva kuzvicherwa zvedu iri kuoneka. Ndofunga iye zvino mukada kunotarisa mari yedu yatinayo yezig yakatsigirwa negoridhe haisi kudonha. Takapedzesera kare kare kunzwa zvemareti achidonha. Waiti nhasi warara nhasi reti iri pakati, mangwana waifuma iri pakati. Nhasi warara akadai tikasvika kumatiriyoni muno. Asi iye zvino zvinhu zvakagadzikana, zig redu riri kutenga, endi vazhinji vari kutsvaga zig kuti vashandise zvavari kuda kuti vashandise. Tikada kunotarisa munzvimbo dzakaita pamapromises akaitwa nesecond republic about 235, 187 so far akaita successful. Zvinove zvinhu zviri kutaurwa nevanhu vekumbare kwatinotungamirira, vari kuti aiwa mabasa ari kuitwa akawanda. Endi mukada kunotarisa kuti kumbare zvinokwanaka, kumbare zvino kuri kuonekera zvinhu zvedu zviri kufamba, chero tsikiza kuchisina. Iye zvino mukada kutarisa kuti ma-investors awanda muno, ma-investors awanda zvikurusa. Muno vanhu vakasununguka, vanhu vari kunamata pavanodira. Mumwe nemumwe ari kunzwa kuti ndakasununguka muno muZimbabwe. Zvinove zvinhu zvatinenge tichitarisira kuti basa riri kuitwa nemutungamiriri wenyika ibasa guru ratinofanira kunge tichirumbidza tese. Kumamisha pfumvudza yazara, nzara hakuchisina, kwese nekwanakuka hakuchisina kana nzara. Zvinhu zvedu zviri kufamba zvakanaka ikoko. Saka vari kuti makore maviri ari kutaurwa nezvavo. Tinokurudzira kuti ngaaitwe. Ndofunga pane vakauya vachiitisa programu iyoyo vakaona kuti kumbara hakuna kana umwe chete airamba kuburikidza nemabasa ari kuitwa nemutungamiriri wedu wenyika. Tiri kuti vekwaregistrar vanofanira kudzoka vabate matomu, nekuti ndo vanoziva kuzvarwa kwemunhu nekunge munhu akashaika, ndo vanenge vachiziva. Hasisina pekuti tichazivana tichiverenga vamwe vanhu vanenge vachinzi vakashaika tichivaona vari mumavoters roll. Saka naizvozvo vari kuti aiwa isusu takamuvhoterai kumbare, chiendai mimi munovhotera president. Sevanhu vekumbare takakuvhoterai tikakupai chivimbo chekuti aiwa ndimumiriri wedu, hatina madhausi wayo. Saka ma-MPs ngavavhotere president, zvinhu zvedu zvambe zvakadini zvakanaka. Saka kumbare vanogutsikana neutungamiriri huri kuitwa neSecond Republic. Vanogutsikana zvakare kuti ma-MP pari kuwedzerwa makore maviri apa, ma-MP ngaawedzerwewo, makansela ngaawedzerwewo kuti development yedu ifambe ienderere mberi. Tine mabasa mazhinji akati wandei iye zvino ari kufamba achiri mamwe ari pakati nepakati atiri kutarisira kuti patinonosvika ku2030 zvinhu zvedu zvinenge zvafamba uye zvagadzikana. Mukada kutarisa iye zvino kune vana vechidiki mayouth vazhinjisa zvinhu zvavo zvikuoneka kuti zviri kuendeka. Hakuna munhu ari kusiyiwa kumashure pangave panyaya yemabhizimusi ipapa kumamai zvinotarisa kuti zvinhu zvedu zviri kufamba. Mukaendawo nekuchechi Gabriel ari kubatsira Gabriel aripo ari kubatsira. Saka isusu tinoti sevanhu vekubari aiwa ngaipinde yose hayo yakadaro bhimu iyoyi. Kune vamwe ava vasati vaizwa vachazoizwa kunaka kwaya mukati bhimu irori nekuti kune ruchi nemukaka maita basa nokuti pamukana iyoyo.
Further debates, I call upon Honorable Nyamuronda.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to debate Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. I stand firmly opposed to Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. This bill seeks fundamentally to alter Zimbabwe's constitutional order by removing the people's direct right to elect their president and replacing it with election by parliament. It also seeks to extend terms of office from 5 years to 7 years. These are not minor administrative changes. They are profound constitutional transformations affecting the very source of political authority in Zimbabwe. The bill requires a referendum because it alters the people's sovereign rights. The 2013 constitution was adopted through a national referendum. The direct election of the president is one of its defining democratic features. Madam Speaker, ma'am, Bill number 3 proposes repealing Section 92 and replacing direct presidential election with election by members of parliament sitting jointly. This removes a fundamental democratic right from every Zimbabwean voter. Sovereignty belongs to the people, not parliament. If the people gave themselves the right to elect the president through a referendum in 2013, parliament cannot legitimately take away that right without returning to the people. They have to go back to the people.
Order.
A constitutional change.
Order.
Point of order.
What's the point of order, Honorable Minister?
Madam Speaker, when members debate this constitution, they must quote it correctly. The people that the honorable member is making reference to allowed this parliament to amend the constitution in certain circumstances without the need for a referendum. So the honorable member must speak to the spirit of the constitution and not pick and cherish whatever he wants and ignore other issues. He must speak to the constitution and attack what he wants to attack, but making reference correctly to what the people said and not what he thinks in his head is what the people said.
Honorable Nyamuronda, don't mislead the House and don't speak what is outside the Constitution. May you stand guided.
Okay. The bill betrays the principle of one man, one vote. Zimbabweans fought for universal suffrage
Point of order.
and equal.
Honorable member must state
Point of order.
precisely where the bill is betraying the one man, one vote.
Point of order.
Otherwise, we don't want people to lie on camera and on record. Because this is being recorded and it's on record, and we cannot perpetually continue to allow people to lie on record on the basis that is their right to debate.
Honorable, may you stick to actual facts. Stop misleading the House. If you don't have anything to debate, we may ask you to sit down and another member will take the floor.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, the people of Zimbabwe have religiously selected their president for the past more than a decade, right? So just taking away that responsibility and put it here in Parliament, it becomes a different story, right? So Parliament is not a parliament is not a substitute for the people's mandate. A president elected directly by millions of citizens.
Point of order.
What's your point of
That
order?
is totally misleading. Parliament is a substitute for the people, because all these honorable members are representing people who cannot make decisions on their own. The honorable member is lying and he must withdraw that particular statement.
No. This is not a
Order. I haven't made a ruling. Honorable Nyamuronda, you must withdraw. The minister is actually right. I'll refer you to section 117 of the Constitution, subsection 1. The powers of the people are vested in the members of Parliament. So withdraw your statement is what the minister has said.
No.
Withdraw your statement.
Honorable Speaker. No. I can't go.
Withdraw your statement. You're left with 2 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, we were given the mandate as MP to serve, let's say, for 5 years.
Withdraw your statement, Honorable Nyamuronda.
Yes.
Withdraw your statement. You are now left with a minute.
Madam Speaker, the honorable member can just leave the House if he's not representing the people.
You see.
If you are not representing, you are here and you don't know that you are a representative, then why are you here?
No.
Why are you here?
There's a limit. There's a limit to. Okay, I withdraw. So in conclusion, I therefore oppose the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. It removes the people's direct right to elect the president. It violates the democratic principle of one person, one vote. It contradicts the ideals of
Order.
liberation
Your time is up.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Further debate, I call upon Honorable Mapumo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to air my voice in support of CAB Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 in its entirety on behalf of the largest constituency in Zimbabwe, geographically of Headlands constituency. Madam Speaker, allow me to speak in Shona as I was requested.
Point of order. Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Mapipiri,
Thank you.
it's arising from what he hasn't even started his debate. May you allow him to debate?
I need to correct. The largest constituency.
I did not acknowledge you, Honorable Mapipiri. Stop disturbing. Honorable Mapumo, you may
Point of
proceed.
order, am I disturbing? Madam Chair, you must not allow only one side to
Kana mane tata kukubuditsai. Maguta Honorable Mapipiri, mobobuda
raising just a point of order in
Amasati vataura rega iva debate. Order, Honorable Mapipiri.
muri headlines inotsigira bhiwiri rakadaro rese reCAB3 uye wakacherechedza kuti mubhiwiri hapana panotaurwa bato kana kutaurwa zita remutungamiri wedu wenyika vanoremekedza baba Mnangagwa, asi kuti bhiu iri rinokomberedza munhu wese uye harina kunangana nebato kana ripi asi kuti nenyika. Vanoendera mberi vachiti bhiri iri igwaro rinofema, kana raakufa vapenyu vanofanirwa kurigadzirisa. Saka kugadziriswa kwesection 328 uye rinobva rataura mabhiri anoenderera mberi anoda referendum neasingade referendum. Zvitatu chete zvinoda referendum zvinosanganisira kodzero dzevanhu, ivhu ratorima, asi section 328 pasina kana kusakoma kana kuti and hapana panoti zvinoendera referendum. Gore remasimba evanhu 1980 taive nawana banana vakaita ma6 years kusina executive. 1987 kusvika 1990 elections takazoona kuti mhirishonga iri kukonzerwa nemaelections. Saka ndo pakatangawo nhaurwa yanabhaura musango. 2008 vamwe vakatofa, 2018 kukafiwa zvakare. Kunze chaiko kuMozambique uko Frelimo yahwina kwakaita ruzha, asi waiita noise waisati ma-MP avo ahwina, asi waingozhamba kuti president. Zvimwe chetezvo kuTanzania. Takatarisa dzimwe nyika mubato wechigaro dzakaita seSouth Africa neBotswana vanosarudza mutungamiri mudare reparliament. Mubato wechigaro Britain chaiyo parliament ndiyo inosarudza, asi mambo wavo akaramba kana kubvuma zvaanenge ataura ndizvo zvinoendera mberi. Saka tinotsigira zvakare kuti madzimambo nemadzishe ange achiuya nekubata kwavanoitawo mune zvematongerwo enyika. KuAmerica Al Gore versus Bush unovhoterwa asi electoral college ikaramba haupindi. Ndo vakatidzidzisa democracy kuti taive nemadzishe zvitsaka kuti uyu imba iyi ndo yakupinda, asi wakauya nedemocracy wakazvichinja, saka taakutedzera iwo. Electoral Act yeParliament mumasuromo yaida kudzora kuna registrar kubva kuZEC. Zvikanzi mudede ndiye watanga takawenga, saka ngaidzokere, bvunzai waiweko kuKopak. Registrar ndiye ane yese mubato wechigaro, chitupa, birth, death, passport, kwete ZEC. Kwete ZEC inokuziwa kana wapinda muballot box. Mubato wechigaro maamendment aya achabata munhu wese kuendera mberi. Saka harisi bhiu remutungamiri wenyika, asi ibhiu richabuda muno muparliament. Mubato wechigaro zvakabatwa zvakare newagari weheadlands kuti ma-MP napresident vanoshanda makore 3. Pamwe pese apa ruzha kuswero dzingirana nemabhiza. Even president vanotombonzi chimbotendererai
muchiona vanhu nekuti kune vari kubaka baka, but ngatiwe tinopa mukana wekuti nonsense dzese dzekumhanyisana idzi 5 years pabasa, saka 7 years tinoitsigira chaizvo. 7 years. Kenya vari kutodaro, France zvimwe chetezvo. Ngatibvisei kugara tingori munhaurwa dzesarudzo tichipa nguva yedevelopment sezvatiri kuona zviri kuitwa neSecond Republic. Now term limit mubato wechigaro, reference Malaba na Mapurangwa, term yeofisi inotanga panopinda mubato wechigaro, panopinda mutungamiri wenyika kusvika pakati peusiku election isati yatanga. Ma MPs 5 years dzavo dzinotanga panoitwa swear in mutungamiri wenyika. Izvi zvinoreva kuti office kwete munhu iye sadunga munhu. MP akafa anouya anopedzisa. Saka 7 years idzodzo hadzisi dzedu isusu asi newachatevera. Section 91 mubato wechigaro ndio inotaura limitation. And iri kuti 3 or more. Saka inogona kuti 10 yakangopa minimum. Section 95 yekulancaster ndo yaiwe nawana Mugabe ngesina limit. So wakati 2030 ndoda section 91 inoti amuchapindi. 158 mubato wechigaro inotaura timing ye-election. Tikati 7 years ndo life yeparliament, tikati 7 zvimwe chete nelancaster yaiwe pa section 95. Mubato wechigaro munhaurwa dzataurwa muno mese taona wakawanda vari kuedza kutsanangura chaizvo constitution, asi ndo patinoona kuti kune vamwe wakafunda mutemo wemabhanga nemutemo wezvimwe zvakadaro, asi vanoda kunyepera kuva nyanzvi dzinoziva constitutional law. Section 328 mubato wechigaro ngavatiratidze panoti referendum 95.2 term length haisi limit provision. Matem mawiri hareve kuti kureba kwetem. Takasarudza 7 takatonyara taikwanisa kuti 10. Mubato wechigaro 328.7 inongonanga inodona kana tichinge tisina kucherechedza izvozvo, uye tikatarisa muchirungu clause 8 nenhau ye10 maseneta ichapa kuti ana zvipangamazano wange warimo tiwe nekuchinjana kweunyanzvi mukutungamira kwatinoita muno muparliament. KuUganda chaiko weopposition leader akatoitwa minister of justice kuti wadzikise kuwengana nekupokana kuti wakurudzire kubatana. Kuchipinge chaiko ndonga through kumbula wakadzora political and social commotion. Mubato wechigaro ndoda kupedzisira nchiti muno wataurwa zhinji wapa muenzaniso wenyika iri kumabvazuva inonzi China. Handizivi kuti isu tese vatungamiri vari muno maconstituents atinobva 210 takatarisa nyika yeChina ine marudzi anosvika 56 ethnicities, asi wese wakakwanisa kubatana isi tiri 210 tinotadza nekubatana muno tiri pasi pebato rakaunza rusununguko. Ngatiendei tinoziya tibatane tive tine bato rimwe chete rinoita kuti nyika ino iwe nepundutso kuenda kumberi. Pachirungu yavanoti connectivity. Kana uine pfungwa dzinokwanisa kuvaka Zimbabwe, aiwa bato riri kutonga rine chigaro chahuya nepfungwa dzako, woisa pfungwa dzako asi dzichitungamirirwa dziri pasi pebato rakaunza rusununguko. Muri headlands iri kuti pa2 years dzawedzerwa idzi aiwa dai matoonawo mugwagwa wekubva paRibhi kuenda Bamba. Pa2 years idzodzi ndinovimba kuti basa iroro richaita sei richabatwa zvakanaka. Aiwa zvizhinji zvataurwa mubato wechigaro nemashoma iwayo ndinoti mhuri yeheadlands neni pache zvangu tinotsigira CAB3 ball.
Thank you, Honorable Mapfumo. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Mpofu, followed by Honorable C. Hlwahlai. But I think here, Honorable Hlwahlai debated. There are two Hlwahlai.
Yes, C. Hlwahlai is here to debate.
Okay, thank you.
Hlwahlai G.
Okay, Honorable Mpofu, you can take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am, for granting me this opportunity to add my voice to the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. I rise to support the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3 with a profound sense of responsibility and commitment to the national interest, constitutional governance, and the good governance principles that underpin our beloved republic. I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this vitally important debate as we deliberate on amendments that will shape the constitutional and governance landscape of Zimbabwe for years to come. I have noticed the active engagement from citizens on the official Parliament of Zimbabwe page, Facebook page, regarding what the youngest member of Parliament is saying on the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. As a representative of the young women in Midlands Province and as the youngest parliamentarian, I would like to express my strong support for Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. The Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment is not merely a piece of legislation. It is a deliberate and considered constitutional evolution designed to strengthen our institutional architecture, improve administrative efficiency, promote stability, and accelerate our journey towards Vision 2030, the blueprint for Zimbabwe's socio-economic transformation and sustainable development. Madam Speaker, ma'am, the bill before us is comprehensive and cross-cutting. It squarely addresses historic and system challenges that have long good governance, policy continuity, and effective public administration. For instance, by transferring the responsibility of voter registration and management of the voters' roll to the Registrar General, the bill taps into the Civil's registry technical capacity to maintain accurate and up-to-date electoral registers, thus reducing previous irregularities such as the presence of deceased persons on the voters' roll. This change reflects a pragmatic approach to institutional re-engineering, streamlining functions, and enhancing electoral integrity. Moreover, the shift to parliamentary election of the president exemplifies a calibrated move towards fostering greater political stability, accountability, and harmony between the executive and the legislature. By narrowing the electoral college to elected representatives, the legislative appointment model reduces the enormous financial costs and political tensions associated with direct presidential elections. This innovation draws from successful constitutional democracies in the regions, including South Africa and Botswana, where the parliamentary election system has contributed positively to political stability and democratic consolidation. The extension of electoral cycles from 5 to 7 years for both the President and members of Parliament is equally prudent. It reflects a realistic appreciation of the demands of long-term national development projects, which require policy consistency and temporal continuity beyond the interruptions of frequent elections. Given the fiscal constraints within our national operates, which our nation operates, longer electoral mandates reduce financial burden on the state and ministries, allowing government to focus more intensively on delivering the development agenda in Vision 2030. I firmly oppose the dissolution of the Gender Commission, as it has played a crucial role in enabling women to hold influential positions. I am among those who have benefited from its initiatives, which have allowed young women to participate in decision-making boards. We have also seen outstanding leadership from women, exemplified by the remarkable performance of Honorable Barbara Rodzi as the Minister of Tourism, as the best performing Minister of Tourism. I strongly disagree with the proposal to dissolve the Gender Commission. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, ma'am, the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Bill number 3, embodies a transformative step forward in our constitutional governance journey. It addresses pressing governance challenges, aligns our supreme law with practical realities, and reinforces our commitment to democracy, the rule of law, and national development. I urge all my fellow honorable members of parliament, regardless of party affiliation, to rise above partisan considerations and unite in approving this amendment bill. Let us act in the best interest of our nation, our constitution, and the millions of Zimbabweans who look to us for visionary leadership. It is time to deliver a constitution that matches our national ambitions and enable Zimbabwe to reach its full potential as a proud, stable, and prosperous nation. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Pofu. Next honorable member to take the floor, Honorable Sihlwahlayo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, ma'am. I rise today not merely as a member of this august house representing Chipinge South constituents, but also as a representative of citizens whose democratic rights must never be surrendered at the altar of political convenience. Madam Speaker, this bill before us goes to the very heart of our democracy and constitutional order. It is not a minor legislative exercise or an ordinary amendment. It is a serious constitutional matter with long-term consequences for the future of our country and the democratic rights of our citizens. Honorable Speaker, constitutions are not meant to serve the political interests of those who hold power at a particular time. They exist to protect the people, including future generations, from the abuse of power. Once a constitution begins to bend to the desires of those in office, the very foundation of constitutional governance begins to weaken. Honorable Speaker, ma'am, we have heard arguments that elections are divisive.
Order, Honorable Fashan.
The honorable member must not misrepresent facts. Changing or amending the constitution is not abuse of power. It's inherent in the constitution that we can change a constitution. It doesn't mean we are abusing power. He has the right to debate against the amendment, but not to misrepresent that each time we amend the constitution, we are abusing power.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Fashayo, try to avoid reckless statement and try to avoid
Madam Speaker.
Withdraw your statement, Honorable Fashayo.
Which one in particular, Madam?
The last statement.
I withdraw the last statement. Honorable Speaker, ma'am, we have heard arguments that elections are divisive, conflict-ridden, and toxic. With due respect, that reasoning is deeply troubling. Elections are not a problem.
Madam Speaker, my debate is on record in the answered. The honorable member must quote exactly what I said without misrepresenting. I think it's not correct that we said elections overall are divisive. He must quote exactly the afflictions, the 5 afflictions that I mentioned in my speech, and then debate them. Then I'll be happy. It will enrich what I said, and then I can consider it. But to pick and little things and ignore the whole context, because context is everything. When you want to quote someone, context is everything. You cannot pick one point and leave the other and put your own context. So you must debate exactly the context in which I indicated that statement.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Hlashayo, try to avoid, as I said before, try to avoid reckless statement, and please don't mislead the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand guided by your wisdom. Elections are the lifeblood of democracy. They are the constitutional mechanism through which citizens choose leaders, hold governments accountable, and peacefully transfer authority. If political tensions exist during elections, the answer cannot be to weaken democratic participation or reduce accountability. The answer must be to strengthen our electoral institutions, improve electoral integrity, encourage political tolerance, and ensure that every Zimbabwean can freely participate without fear, intimidation, or violence. Madam Speaker, ma'am, across the world, democracies do not abandon elections because politics becomes contested. Contestation is part of democracy itself.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Once a nation begins to fear elections, it slowly begins to fear the voice of its own people.
Order, Honorable Hlashayo.
Madam Speaker, the bill has no reference to abandonment of elections. And the honorable member must withdraw that statement.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Hlashayo, this is the last time. Withdraw your words.
I continue being guided, Madam Speaker, but this is an appeal to you, Madam Speaker. There is an earlier ruling by the Speaker, by Madam Deputy Speaker, that Honorable Minister will respond after all the debate.
Honorable
Thank you.
Hlashayo.
I stand guided.
Honorable Hlashayo, withdraw.
Which one?
The last statement
I withdraw, Madam Speaker. I withdraw, Madam Speaker. The liberation struggle was fought so that citizens would choose their leaders through the ballot and not through elite political arrangements. Madam Speaker, ma'am,
I think the honorable member cannot continue. The rules do not allow somebody to persistently lie about.
Ma'am, he even interrupts
I think we
before you
cannot
recognize
have this because this is a blatant lie. What he's saying, nowhere in the bill.
May you sit down, Honorable Hlashayo?
The bill does not speak to what he's saying. He has a pre-written speech which does not speak to what the bill says. Neither is he speaking to what my speech was all about.
Maitabasa, Honorable Minister. Honorable Hlashayo, kechina ndichikutsuurai. Zvakataurwa naMinista munomu hansard iripo. Tikukumbira kuti kana munhu uchidhibheta, dhibheta zviri mustatement rebill. Ndambokutsuurai kuti avoidai mareckless statement. Ndekekupedzisira kandiri kukutsuurai.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Our constitution, the 2013 constitution, emerged from one of the widest consultative processes our country has ever undertaken. Zimbabweans spoke clearly about the kind of nation they wanted. They want accountable leadership, limited power, democratic participation, equality, and constitutional governance. And because of the constitution belongs to the people, no political majority has the moral right to fundamentally alter democratic principles through returning to the people without participation of people themselves. Honorable Speaker, we are also told that these amendments are necessary to maintain progress, to finish the project. However, joining progress, Honorable Speaker, cannot be achieved by weakening democratic safeguards. True national progress is built upon strong institutions, constitutional certainty, accountability, transparency, separation of power, and the respect of the rule of law. History has repeatedly shown that nations decline when constitutions are manipulated to protect those in power rather than the citizens themselves. Constitutions are not amended for political convenience. They are preserved to safeguard the democratic order of the day.
Order, Honorable
Madam
Buttai.
Speaker, we cannot continue to listen to intransigence. The honorable member say the constitution is being manipulated. By who? He is here, he participated in the consultations, he is here debating the same constitution, and is he part of the manipulation himself? We are in any parliament there will always be a majority. And we get majority specifically to be able to rule and make decisions. So if you say when we are majority then we manipulate, then what is the purpose of going to elections?
I think it's wrong.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Tashayo, I think your time is up.
But ma'am, I don't think it's
Honorable
fair.
Tashayo, ndakutsura ka kechina aka ndekechi 5 ndichikutsura in 5 minutes.
Madam Speaker.
Your time is up, Honorable. Your time is up.
It was a direct ploy to make sure that I cannot.
Honorable Tashayo, you may sit down.
We must not allow this. We must not allow this. There is the ruling party, there's opposition. Allow me to oppose.
Honorable Tashayo
is the role of the opposition. It's to oppose. Alternatives. I must give alternatives, and you must listen. I'm not from the ruling. I'm not.
Honorable Tashayo. Honorable Tashayo. Honorable Tashayo. Order, Honorable.
Yeah.
Order, Honorable Tashayo. May you sit down, Honorable Tashayo? I've already ruled my Honorable Tashayo. May you sit down?
Ruling, madam.
Honorable Tashayo. Order, honorable members. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Butau. Zidzai Butau.
Ndinotenda mubati wechigaro nemukana iwowu wamatipa seMount Darwin East Constituency seMount Darwin District kuti shoko ravo rinzwike mune rinodare. Madam Speaker, andina mashoko akawanda andinokwanisa kutaura mune rinodare, asi ndoda kungoti nditaure kuti vagari vekuMount Darwin District, vagari vekuMount Darwin East Constituency vari kusapota bhiri number 3 zvakasimba 100%. Ndakati ndibate zvakawanda, Madam Speaker, mune rinodare ndinoona kuti kumativi ese atiri mabasa ari kuitwa nababa vedu vaMunangagwa tese tiri kumaona, tese tiri kumaziva. Saka panguva ino nekuda kwenguva andikwanise kunongedza kuti icho nechicho nechicho nekuti zvakawanda zvataurwa zvakaparidzwa muno. Chatava kungoita kwangova kungodzokorora zvakataurwa nevamwe kare. Asi pandinoda kuti ndinyatsoti mudare rino zvinyatsonzwika ndepekuti kuMount Darwin district, Mount Darwin East constituency, pavari kunyanyobata ndepekurebeswa kweutongi hwemutungamiri wenyika yatinoti iyo term extension, term length extension muchirungu. Regai nditaure Madam Speaker ndichiti vanhu vekuMount Darwin, vekuMount Darwin East constituency vari kufarira zvakanyanya kurebeswa kweutongi hwemutongi wedu wenyika. Izvi vari kuzvifarira nekuda kwezvavari kuona nemabasa ari kuitwa napresident wedu vaMnangagwa. Naiwawo mashoko Madam Speaker, handidi kuramba ndichiwedzera nekutora nguva yakawanda ndichitambisa. kuMount Darwin East, kuMount Darwin district, CAB3 iri kusapotwa zvakanyanya zvokuti vakatonditi wakaona CAB3 isina kupasa usadzoke kumba. Ndatenda hangu.
Thank you, Honorable Butao. Honorable Chari, you can take the floor.
Maita basa mubatu wechigaro. Regai titi maswera seni manheru. Ndinofara nomukana wandawana kusvitsowo mashoko anobva nzvimbo yekariba kuna avo vakanditumawo kuuya mudare rino. Regai nditende zvikuru kwazvo kuna minista vedu vaziyambi vakauya kuzotukushira mashoko mukati memba ino. Nzvimbo yekariba iri kusapota zvakasimba bill number 3. Regai nditende ndichiti panguva yakatendererwa tichinzwa pfungwa dzevanhu kuti vari kufungei, vari kuti kudii. Ini ndiri mumwe akasarudzwa kutenderera ndikaenda munzvimbo yangu yandinobva yeMash West. Saka regai ndiise mashoko mudare rino ndichiti Mash West iri kutsigira zvakapetwa bill number 3. Regai nditi pandakatenderera kune vanga vachitaura veMidlands, regai ndisewo mashoko nokuti ndikasamasvitsa vanogona kubatikana nokuti nzvimbo yandakaendawo vakatsigira zvine mutsindo vanhu veMidlands. Regai ndiise mashoko ekuti CAB3 regai ipinde yose sezvairi pasina kana rimwe chete rinobviswa. Regai ndisewo mashoko angu maviri kuti sei veMash West kana kuti vekariba vachitsigira ngatiti kutonga kuri kuitwa kwa5 years kwakava kuchiitwa kumashure kweso. Kariba neMash West iri kureva kuti tikawedzera akaita manomwe zvinenge zviri nani, nokuti mari iri kupera kuvengana kuri kuwanika. Saka tati regai close ikaitika kuti 1 zvingashupe ese aripo 22. Regai apinde ese. Muno mudare makumwa, muno mudare mata regai nditi vaihwereketa vakahwereketa kubva masvondo apfuura. Tave kungozadzikidzawo kuti tikasataura tinenge tazobatana nevamwe vanoita nha. Saka isu tasumukirawo kutsigira zvakapetwa, zvakaendwa, zvakaenda kuti bhiri siyai ripinde rese. Zvinhu izvi hazvisi kuitirwa vaMunangagwa, zviri kuitirwa kana iwe uri muno. Regai ndidzokorere mamwe mashoko akataurwa nevamwe honorable muno kuti regai tikwanise kufadayo kusvika 2030. Nemashoko iwawo mbato wechigaro ndinokutendai maita basa.
Thank you, Honorable Chari. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable ZIMBABWE.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this wonderful opportunity to also add my voice on this debate. Madam Speaker, I rise to reject Constitutional Bill Amendment number 3. And let it be unequivocally clear, Madam Speaker, the good people of Highfield have also rejected this bill in numbers uncountable. Madam Speaker, the proposed extension of terms of office from 5 to 7 years and its immediate application to sitting MPs and the President goes at direct loggerheads with Section 328 subsection 7 of the Supreme Law of this country. The drafters of this current Constitution, Madam Speaker, did include this part of the Constitution with mechanization like CAB3 in mind. They understood one thing, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker. We now have a tendency of honorable members misrepresenting facts. Honorable MPs have no term of office. They can stand and stand and stand as long as they can do that and they are supported by the people of Zimbabwe. So misrepresenting that members of parliament have a limit, please can that be withdrawn?
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much.
Honorable Mavudzi, please don't mislead the House. Try to bait what exactly is in the statement.
I remain guided, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. They knew that power does not surrender itself. It must be.
Now withdraw.
I withdraw, Madam Speaker. They knew that power does not surrender itself. It must be bounded. The constitutional philosophy that informs Section 328 subsection 7 is unambiguous and very clear. Those who draft an extension of time cannot be material beneficiaries of the same. To lengthen our own tenures by 2 terms.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
What's your point of order, Honorable?
The basic tenets of law state that if you cite a certain section of the law, you must back it up by facts. Can you give us the rules under the law that he has quoted?
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Mavudzi, you may go ahead, but please, as I said before, try to bait what is in the statement. Exactly what is in the statement. And this is the second time. The third time, you sit down.
Yeah, well, I have understood and actually have been observing the trajectory, so I know already. But let me just proceed, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. To lengthen our own tenures by 2 terms, without a direct and uncoerced...
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Point of order.
What's your point of order?
The honorable member is still persisting that MPs have a term limit provision in the constitution, which is not correct. And our chief whip indicated that, and he is still persisting along those lines. I think you need to rule on that. He cannot continue lying. The reason why I'm objecting to lies is it will be in the record, and it will be propagated that he debated and he presented this as if it's a fact when it's a lie. We do not want what our voters to be fed with lies. You must state facts as they are, or debate the bill and my statement as it is without misrepresenting the facts.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Mavudzi, ndambokutsurai Honorable kuti tryai kudebata zviri mustatement. Hansard riripo anditi zvakataurwa naminista zvirimo. So yedzai nepose pamunogona kuti muitaure zvakataurwa zviri mustatement exactly. Tisarambe tichinetsana. Andi muri kunzwa Honorable? This is the last chance. This is the last chance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I remain guided by your wisdom. Madam Speaker, the argument that an administration has done so well and so it deserves extra time in office is just as retrogressive as it is a threat to the body politic. Madam Speaker, a good dancer knows when to leave the stage. It is always prudent to leave the stage whilst people are still ululating. Throughout the world, history is pregnant, Madam Speaker, with a litany of regimes that have claimed performance legitimacy as a way of entrenching autocratic consolidation. Madam Speaker, performative legitimacy must be evident in implementing unemployment rates, in functional public schools, in a smart and efficient road network, in an efficient health system, in poor policy governance. Continued hold to power is symptomatic to dictatorial tendencies. Such antics, Madam Speaker, cannot be tolerated in our beloved country. As I conclude, Madam Speaker, because of the trajectory...
You are left with 2 minutes, Honorable.
As I conclude, Madam Speaker, because of the trajectory of the debate, certain members of Parliament had actually usurped the Speaker's powers. So I will conclude. As I conclude, it is Jean-Jacques Rousseau who once said, and I quote, sovereignty cannot be represented.
Your time is up, Honorable.
It cannot be.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable.
Madam
It is against this background.
Your time is up, Honorable.
But I believe passing this bill without putting it to a
Honorable Vudzai.
not Emily. Madam Speaker,
Honorable Vudzai, order.
Reject this.
Honorable Vudzai, order.
And so,
Shurudziko chamune muchiita naye Honorable.
I hope he has stopped debating, but derogatory statements to other honorable members is unacceptable. He must respect us. We are here not through chicanery. We were voted in. All members of Parliament here must be respected by the honorable member. This is the type of reckless statements. It's not going to help our genuine reason why we are staying this long in the night to debate this amendment.
Thank you, Honorable Chief. Honorable Mangondo, you can take the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, ma'am. I rise to
represent the views of the people of Murewa South constituency, which were clearly enunciated at the public consultation that took place at Murewa Center. More than 3,000 people turned up for the public consultation, Madam Speaker, representing the three constituencies of Murewa South, Murewa North, and Murewa West constituencies. I actually attended the public consultation myself. I wanted to hear clearly from the people their views. And the people of Murewa as a district very clearly enunciated that they support lock, stock, and barrel Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 in its entirety. Madam Speaker, we also had a report from the Justice Committee here, which was presented by the Honorable Jobo. Arising from that report, two important issues were raised, which I'm going to note here. The first one had to do with the views of the traditional leaders, the chiefs, who felt that the provision or the clause on removing the bar on the participation of traditional leaders in partisan politics was not supported by the traditional leaders. And the recommendation from the Justice Committee was that perhaps that particular clause be removed from clause, I think it's clause 20, is it? Yeah, it should be clause 20, if I'm not mistaken. There was also the view from the women's lobby.
Order, Honorable.
Yes.
Try kuenda padhuze nemic.
Okay. Thank you. Which felt that the clause on the transfer of the Gender Commission to the Human Rights Commission should also be removed. So apart from those two clauses, Honorable Madam Speaker, the people of Murewa fully support clause, all the clauses in the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, with the exception of those two on retaining the Gender Commission as it is, and also removing the clause which would allow traditional leaders to participate in partisan politics. Madam Speaker, a lot has been said, and I think I would like to take wise counsel from the Speaker as well as the leader of the House that we should not engage in repetitive or in repetition of what has already been said. So with that contribution, I submit, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mangondo. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Chibago.
Ini ndini ndinonzi Honorable Chibago. Ndinoda kutsigira bhiri iri kufara kwakanyanyisa. Nokuti isu kwedu uku kumbire tainzi mahotondotsi madoma mabushmen asingazivi iye zvino kwakumatorya chipi kufani Mwari. President watigonera zvokuti ini ndinototi deno Mwari aramba atikadaro vakatoti mai taivo tisingazivi kuti ngatorimawo chibage kudai tainzi makorekore mabushmen zvimandionerepi iye zvino kumatorya chipi kufa ndiMwari zvechokwadi chibage chakarimwa zvakanaka. Saka ndinotsigira mbire zvakasimba ndochidzoka ndichiuya kunoku kuguruve. Guruve ndakanyatsotarira zvangu ndichiona zvese zvaiitwa nama-MP ini ndiri women's quarter. Asi zvinhu zvandakadzidza nokuona nokuti kwedu uku kwakaramba kuine mvura. Divi rana Kachutana naBakasa kumatorya chipi futi kufa ndiMwari kune forya yakarimwa nemabage akarimwa. Saka izvozvi ndio zvandangoti ndingotaura nokuti ndinonzwa kusununguka nokuti kwakuine zharabu vanhu vasingazivi zvavari kuningirikira. Saka ndinotsigira bhiri irori zvakasimba. Hainiwa
Maita basa honorable. Order, honorable members. Maita basa honorable Chibago. Honorable Molokel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to debate the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. I need to make it very clear and unequivocal and state in no uncertain terms that I am totally opposed to this bill. I oppose each and every one of the 22 clauses of this bill. I oppose each and every one of the
honorable members.
Chirungu.
Order, honorable members.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just for purposes of record, I just need to be clear that as a citizen of this country, I believe that the future of this country lies in its democratic foundation. And without a solid democratic foundation, any attempt to dream of a better Zimbabwe will not come into a reality. The truth is that in 2013, when we adopted this constitution, we were optimistic, we were hopeful that we will have a better tomorrow. The future of Zimbabwe hinged on the expectations of that same constitution. As we debate the Third Amendment today, I am so sad, I am so disappointed that we are reversing the gains of the same 2013 constitution. Because of time, Madam Speaker, I will not be able to go through each and every one of the clauses, but I will need to highlight a few. The first one that I need to make it very clear that it is a very disappointing contribution from this August House through this bill is the clause number 3. I read through this clause and I was horrified. of Zimbabwe, each and every one of the individuals of citizens of this country, as long as they reach the legal age of majority of 18, should have their constitutional right to elect the leader of this country. What this bill seeks to do is exactly the opposite, to take away that national responsibility and duty and give it to a selected few. I fully oppose this bill, and I say the president of this country must be elected by citizens of this country. I propose that whenever we need to elect a president in this country, each and every registered voter must have a chance to vote the president of their choice. I also need to show my clear opposition to clause 4 and clause 9 that talks about the extension of the term from 2028 to 2030.
Madam Speaker, I think it would be better for my good honorable member to withdraw one statement among many that he has been saying, specifically where he says, when you are 18 years, you must vote for the president. Where is it in the Constitution? You have the right to vote, but you vote anywhere you want to vote. No, we want to see where it is written.
Madam Speaker, I didn't say it's in the Constitution. I said it is my view that if someone, so why should I withdraw my personal view? Okay, thank you. I didn't say it's in the Constitution. I said it is my view that every citizen of this country, upon reaching the legal age of majority of 18, must have the opportunity to elect a president of their choice. So I support a direct election of the president, and I strongly oppose this clause. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to highlight clause 4 and 9, and also clause 10, that talk to postponement of elections to 2030.
Madam Speaker, if we have people with opinions that go against the Constitution, we end up having rebellions. Your views must follow the Constitution. He must be guided by the Constitution.
Order, Honorable. Honorable Flashai. Order. Order, Honorable Flashai. May you sit down? Honorable members. Honorable Molokele.
Madam Speaker, in 2023 we elected our president. In 2018 we elected our president. So I said I support the current process. I'm opposed to the alternative where the parliamentarians have to vote for the president as an electoral college. And I do not need to cite any provision of the Constitution for that. And then postponement of elections from 2028 to 2030 is proposed. I am 100% opposed to that. I prefer that the term of office expires in 2028. And if we need to change the Constitution from 2028 to 2035, then it's okay. Those who will be elected in 2028 can have 7 years as long as the Constitution has been changed. It must not benefit us, the current MPs. It is a violation of the principle of conflict of interest that I, the very same person who was elected in 2023 for a term of office that is supposed to last in 2028, I then vote for another 2 years to extend my own term of office. That is what I'm opposed to, and I believe that the people of Zimbabwe and the people of Hwange Central deserve a chance to elect a member of parliament in 2028.
Order, honorable members. Ndimi muri kubata nguva here. Aiwa ngatite order, my honorable members. You can continue, honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me proceed to clause 18 and clause 19 that speak to the Gender Commission. As a parliamentary for Chi champion, I need to make it very clear that these two clauses, I am 100% opposed to them. We must not remove the Zimbabwe Gender Commission. We must actually increase its capacity. We must increase its resources. The Zimbabwe Gender Commission must continue and no bill should stop its existence. So I'm 100% fully supportive of the Zimbabwe Gender Commission. It must continue. We have not yet achieved gender equality as exposed by our constitution. I also now turn to clause 21, which talks about traditional leaders. A traditional leader is not elected by popular majority. A traditional leader is born into leadership. Not every citizen of this country is entitled to be a traditional leader. It's a prison of specific...
You are left with 2 minutes.
Thank you. Not every citizen of this country is entitled to be a traditional leader. It's a birthright. If you are not a member of the royal family, you have to wait for a traditional leader to be nominated within the royal family. So to the extent that chiefs or headmen and other traditional leaders are born leaders, they are leaders of every citizen in their community. It is a big mistake to expect the same person who was born a leader by birthright to become a politician and enter into the political field with the same subjects that he is supposed to be representing from birth. If you are a traditional leader, you must be a leader of everyone, regardless of their political affiliation. So I'm 100% opposed. Traditional leaders must be leaders of everyone, regardless of their political affiliation. Last but not least, Madam Speaker, I want to encourage this August House to vote against every one of the 22 clauses of this bill. Let us reject it. Let us take this bill back to the sender. Thank you.
Maita Basa, Honorable Molokele, Honorable C. Muchimba.
Twalumba Vaschuno. Megandiri mwemegiriri wabantu bakubhinga North. Ndanyampuka kandiri ku sinsimizya kuti inkani iri munkuta eno bagitambula amaboko obirwe kabale kulumba muzuluzi iwe suba president idimu nangagwa imirimu njibale kuchite alusumpuo mboma yesu irya binga North baschuno wachindi chilamfu impuli ziri ku ngazi yatariya kulwana kuti chabachindi ichakuti tusale ibazuluzi tulalomba ku komiti yakainkide kubhoma irya binga iyo yakali kuendelezigwa abasichuno baspeaker bachuma mabambwa babwe ibayimikirira ibinga kabali kwambula twamvwa aumwe imwimikiriri wa ukadri paki wakali ababo mukabunga kale kuti ibinga kati twalomba mbuli mwimikiriri andimendati ndimikire ndizuzikizye mbuli mbubakalomba kale ekutiwe mpakakusala bwakatwimikirire setwamaniska okuno wachalandwe ku parliament ekuti andiwe kazuzukizye chindati andimendi bike majwi abi atatu ibantu babinga bali kuboterwa alusumpuko ndibali kupegwa afulumende wa chibiri bali kulakira kuti fulumende wa chibiri wapegwa iminyaka ibiri wenda kumusano wakaperedwe minyaka iri musule eyi kulapa lusumpuko lwinji mbunga tulaba blawa ukuro aba baminyaka kabatamani twali kulombozya kuti iblawa ukuro lawonzya amana mu minyaka ibiri itayungizidwe lino kwambovu ibinga North tula border post yakamana gatuli kwambovu ngwenyo nomunyaka fulumende wakatupa school of nursing zyakuti munyakoza ibana balafunda
saka ndusumpuko lonkolo luli kusika mubhinga ngaturengene abasing'ami basing'ami bakatakwe chibipe chakuti banjire izikanyika kambo mempundi imvano basing'ami bakanjirira kuti bati kuyakapimikirire basing'ami bonke kabali 12 bakubhinga north bakapoti ndinjire so takwe chibi chituli kubona kuti banjire mboli zikanyika ezi kamba balakumba vota bale mboli ndiswe tonke nitulimo muno so kubhinga north kandiri kuti me hayi wakachitambula ichi chibotu chiratupa kuti tumanisike mirimi yesu jitwakatanguna na muzuluzi amanisike mirimu jakatanguna kubhinga bali kuti CAB3 mulolo bali kuti ndimbone na ule kana kuti ndimbone na nembo bali kuti mbuchi bali kuti ndimbone na mansiku bali kuti ndimbone na yaliso lyalusumpuko muboma lya chisi twalumbaloho amafukifinyidalaho ayo kunembo abiri number 3 mulolo
Thank you, Honorable Muchimba. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Matambo, followed by Honorable Enmaonganize.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am, for affording me this opportunity to debate the Constitutional Bill Amendment number 3. The time is 23:24. I've just mentioned it for the sake of transparency and accountability. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I submit that I'm opposed to this bill in its totality. But because of limited time, I shall confine myself to the following clauses. That's clause number 2. This clause speaks to the transfer of voter registration function from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission to the Office of the Registrar General, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Taking back voter registration function to the Registrar General represents several steps backwards in our attempt to strengthen our electoral system and democracy. Madam Speaker, ma'am, the transfer of the voter registration function from the Registrar General to the Zimbabwe Election Commission was done out of serious negotiations of the electoral reforms through many electoral stakeholders. This reform, which is quite significant, came about at the backdrop of trying to put a key and central cog in the management of our elections in the hands of an independent commission other than directly under the purview of the government. Some clauses in this bill, Madam Speaker, ma'am, more specifically clause 4, 9, and 10, are presented as being brought in to deal with the alleged political toxicity. Yet the same bill is attempting to bring back to life some areas of conflict in our electoral system. In this regard, Madam Speaker, ma'am, I submit that I'm instead of taking away this function from an independent body, rather this House should rather strive to enhance and strengthen the independence and capacity of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, as transferring back voter registration function to government is a serious drawback from incremental electoral reforms that were made back then and presupposes conflict. Whilst I indicated that I'll confine myself to specific clauses, notwithstanding that the whole bill is proposing a serious drawback.
Honorable. Madam Speaker, the honorable member started very well, but I think now he's behaving as if he is getting lost. I don't know somewhere. Madam Speaker, we are not taking away the independence of ZEC. We are taking away what it doesn't have capacity to do. So there is no reason for him to say we are taking away. It remains an independent commission, chapter 12, but we don't want it to do what it cannot do for effectiveness. So the honorable member must be very honest to everyone and to himself.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Matambo, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ma'am, I will stand guided by your wisdom.
Honorable Matambo,
Madam
don't
Speaker.
mislead the House, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, sir. While I indicated that I will confine myself to specific
Point of
clauses.
clarity, Madam Speaker.
There you
It's
go.
just a point of clarity so that the honorable member can proceed. Madam
You
Speaker,
can go ahead, Honorable Minister.
this clause, we got it from the opposition. And the honorable member is attacking what his own party gave us. So I just want clarity from the chief whip or from the leader of the opposition, because they never informed us that they have now renegated from the original position, which is on record, Madam Speaker. It's on record. We can check, pull out the answer. We have had meetings. Those may not be on record. But this is on record that in the 9th Parliament, the opposition wanted this to be put in the Electoral Act. And because it was a constitutional matter, we could not do it. And then I proposed that after the elections, we will then amend the constitution to give effect to it. So those from this side must cause or show us where they then resolved or renegated from that original position that we agreed. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Matambo, you can continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Sorry, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, ma'am. I was there in the 9th Parliament, and we really thank the Honorable Minister for acceding to the request that was made by opposition members of Parliament, and we haven't shared it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. The Minister of Justice here, who is also present in this House, presented a plethora of issues around the cost of having a contested electoral outcome. Indeed, I equally share the views that the manner in which our elections have been conducted for more than 2 decades put an extra monumental tax on the economy that manifests in subdued foreign direct investment. A subdued financial and capital markets, as investors and players shun to invest in countries that have a political instability. Instability, Madam Speaker, ma'am, even latent, is a threat to progress. More so, the contested outcomes keep the country in a perpetual election mode. But unfortunately, Madam Speaker, ma'am, this bill seeks to inflame an already bad situation. Madam Speaker, ma'am, this bill is not curing the mischief, but rather seeks to fertilize the crisis. Madam Speaker, I may not want to belabor this august House by pointing out that this bill is not a product of consensus and convergence, taking into consideration that it remains in an election mode due to contested outcome. While it is a prerogative of the executive to bring bills to this House, but a bill to deal with a non-perennial conflict ought to have been a product of wider and honest consultation of key stakeholders. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I'll go to clause 4, 9, and 10 compacted. These clauses seek to extend the term of all elected office bearers, that is, the President, the Parliament, parliamentarians, and councillors. Why I constrain myself from venturing into the legality of the proposed term extensions without the agents of the masses. The reasons for extending the terms of office, Madam Speaker, ma'am, is a clear testament of misdiagnosis of our problems that have bedeviled our elections for the past 2.5 decades. Madam Speaker, ma'am, term extensions is not a cure to deep-seated electoral challenges, but dealing robustly and effectively with structural issues of our electoral mismanagement system is the cure. I put it to this House, Madam Speaker, that our current electoral laws as they are capable of delivering an election result that is beyond dispute if the rule of law is respected, as well as paying fidelity to constitutionalism, while progressive reforms as recommended by many stakeholders, which include several election observer missions, political parties, churches, civil society organizations, just to mention a few, are adhered to and considered in the spirit of progress. Madam Speaker, because of time, I'll go to my conclusion.
Honorable Matapo, you are left with 2 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, ma'am, constitutions are a living document all over. Yes, they can be amended when the need arises to address national issues. In progressive democracies, a constitution is amended to cure mischief as opposed to suit powerful individuals. Madam Speaker, ma'am, CAB3 came at a cost as we witnessed the masses being denied an opportunity to air their views. Some respected members of our society without contrary views were bashed and being abducted. CAB3, unfortunately, Madam Speaker, is a clear instrument of order.
Madam Speaker, we cannot allow the honorable member to lie like this. He is an honorable member. I have so much respect for him and the people who voted him to come here. But for him to say he didn't witness 500,000 people plus who participated in the consultation for this bill, it has never happened in the history of this country. We had 2 amendments before we came to this one, and we didn't witness such type of participation. But the honorable member continued to lie. Madam Speaker, I pray if you can help him to go back to his senses, not to lie. He represents a lot of people, and they cannot be represented by a liar.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable Matapo, please don't mislead the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. It is evident we saw what happened to that court.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. Time ya matambo ya kwana toda kuina berti debate o Madam Speaker kwavira.
Maita basa, Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So we also saw what happened to Liberty. I'm also a student.
Honorable members. Honorable Matambo, your time is up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Maunganidze.
Madam Speaker, I have a clarification before you give the honorable member.
Go ahead, Honorable.
Thank you, Madam. We must clarify the Honorable Minister, the leader of government business, has said the opposition in the 9th Parliament, Madam Speaker. Maybe I must also refresh his mind to say he must also separate the issue of automatic registration from the Registrar General and the custodian of the voters' roll. So those are 2 different issues. Yes, as an opposition during that time, as MDC, we were advocating for that automatic registration from the Registrar General. But the custodian, Madam Speaker, of the voters' roll, we said it must remain with ZEC because we cannot take away from ZEC. That was the position as an opposition. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, let me explain. In my speech, I even quoted that on the 18th of May. And I even said we can go back to the Hansard. To refresh your memory, maybe, Madam Speaker, with your leave, we can ask the answered people to pull out the order paper so that she can see the amendments that were put forward by Honorable Wende, supported by Honorable Biti and Honorable Makam, and the entire opposition. And my response to say that we cannot transfer back the registration of voters to the Registrar General because the Constitution says voter registration must be done by ZEC. So we need to amend the Constitution so that that function can be transferred. I am very clear, Madam Speaker, for a benefit, this can be availed so that she can be very sure she was the Vice President of the party, and I'm sure she will gladly accept that. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for a clear clarification. All the honorable members, Honorable Maungani, you can take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I rise today as the mouthpiece of the youth from Masvingo Province. By the authority vested in me by the youth of Masvingo Province, I would like to state that they are in full support of Constitution Amendment Bill number 3. Today, I'm going to speak to clause 3, 4, 9, 10, 18, and 19. Madam Speaker, ma'am, clause 3, which provides for the election of the president by parliament, should not be viewed as a reduction of democracy, but rather as a strengthening of representative democracy. Madam Speaker, ma'am, the Constitution Amendment Bill is consistent with Section 117, subsection 1 of the Constitution, which states that legislative authority is derived from the people and vested in Parliament. Since members of Parliament are democratically elected to represent the will of the people, any constitutional amendment passed through Parliament reflects the exercise of the people's sovereign power. Therefore, supporting the bill is supporting a constitutional process carried out by the legitimate representatives of Zimbabwe citizens. The amendment bill demonstrates democracy in action as Parliament is exercising the authority instructed to it by the people to make laws and constitutional changes that believes serve the national interest. Madam Speaker, ma'am, by entrusting Parliament with this responsibility, we reduce costly electoral processes and create a system where the President remains continuously accountable to the representatives of the people. The resources saved can be redirected towards empowering women entrepreneurs, funding youth innovation, and expanding social protection programs. Furthermore, I support clauses 4, 9, and 10, which extend the term of office for the President and Parliament from 5 to 7 years. Development is not an event, it is a process. Roads are not built in a day, industries are not revived in a day, and youth unemployment cannot be solved in a day. Frequent elections often plunge the nation into perpetual campaign mode where politics overshadows development. A 7-year term provides policy certainty, continuity, and the opportunity to see transformational programs through from conception to completion. Young people and women need sustainable results, not endless election cycles. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I also represent the marginalized group of women. My strongest support lies with the committee's recommendation to reject clause 18 and 19, which sought to repeal the Zimbabwe Gender Commission and merge it with Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. Zimbabwe remains a society where patriarchal attitudes continue to limit opportunities for women and girls. In such an environment, gender equality cannot be treated as a subcategory of human rights. It must remain a national priority with a dedicated constitutional institution championing it. The argument for merger may be administrative efficiency, but efficiency should never come at the expense of visibility and accountability. History teaches us that when gender issues compete with broader concern, they are often the first to be overlooked. The Zimbabwe Gender Commission is a voice for women in boardrooms where they are underrepresented, in communities where harmful cultural practices persist, and in workplaces where equality is still a work in progress. As young people, we aspire to a Zimbabwe where opportunity is not determined by gender. Retaining the Gender Commission safeguards decades of progress and ensures that future generations of women and girls have a dedicated institution to defend their rights and advance their aspirations. Madam Speaker, ma'am, a nation that empowers its women strengthens its families, its economy, and its future. A nation that invests in its youth secures its tomorrow. For those reasons, I support clause 3, 4, 9, and 10, and I also support the committee's recommendation to reject clauses 18 and 19. I support the bill in total. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Maunganze. The next honorable member to take the floor, Honorable Chuma.
Good evening, Honorable Speaker, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given me to air my voice on this very pertinent bill that has made us stay in Parliament up to now 11:45. There was a very interesting game of France and Senegal today that I thought I was going to watch, but unfortunately duty called and we answered to duty. Madam Speaker, I was privileged to be nominated to chair the team that went to Mat North. When we left Bulawayo, we went to Cholocho. And Madam Speaker, me being the democratic person that I am, while I was chairing that process, I remember I took the mic and said, now it's time for people to make submissions. And to make sure that this thing is very fair, open, without any malice whatsoever, I handed the mic to the people. And I said, whoever wants to speak, just pass the mic to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. Because I wanted to hear what exactly the people of Cholocho are thinking about concerning this bill. Madam Speaker, I'll be very frank with you. Out of a total number of more than 30 to 40 people that spoke there, only 2 people spoke against the bill. But the rest of the people were for the bill. I moved again, leading the team who went to Wange, where Honorable Molokeli comes from. I even looked for him, and I think he ran away from the process for whatever reason. But in his hometown, and fortunately for me, that's the same town that I also grew up some years ago. But in that hometown, Madam Speaker, it was so full of people. And all the people that were there, save again for about, I think, 2 people. In Wange, I think over 100 people spoke there. But only 2 people out of the 100 were the ones that were opposed to the bill. But the rest were for the bill. And even some of the people that still wanted to speak were for the bill. And when we were walking out, I heard them singing praises about the bill. So I said to myself, this bill must be very, very popular with the people. Because if you find that all these people are supporting it, then there's something peculiar about it. We then moved to Binga, Madam Speaker. In Binga, to be honest with you, I thought we were going to find resistance and we're going to find people really talking bad about the bill. But to my surprise, not even one person opposed the bill in Binga. And Madam Speaker, I remember when I came back here, I even said, I think I will speak to Honorable Mona, the Minister of Transport. They must fix that road going to Binga because those people deserve it. By 2030, that road must be fixed because we're all in support of the bill. And so, I then went to Lupana again. same trend. Everyone was supporting the bill, except again maybe for about 2 people, so which is okay and it's normal. We cannot expect everybody to agree and see things from the same spectacle and same view. So I was happy that okay, there are some people who oppose. But what pained me mostly was that most of the opposers of this bill were doing it from a blind spot. They're doing it from an uninformed spot. You hear people talking about things that are not about the bill. People were saying that, no, we need a referendum. But putting a referendum is a simple way of saying that, because the bill doesn't talk about the referendum at all. The referendum is clear. It's only got three instances where it is needed. That's the Chapter 4, Declaration of Rights. I think it's Chapter 16, the issue of land, and Section 328. So that's the only sections that need a referendum. So my wish and prayer is that even if you want to oppose this bill, why don't you oppose it truthfully and with facts, instead of misleading people to a point whereby people... I actually had one honorable member saying that, no, this bill does not talk about development, doesn't talk about roads, it doesn't talk about bread and butter, whatever. But I said, is this honorable member really listening to themselves as they say this? We are saying that we want to extend the term to 7 years because we have discovered a lot of flaws from the 5-year cycle. So we are saying that we want to actually have a pro-developmental cycle more than a political one. And that is something that people need to understand. That is what people need to speak to. We are crying that development is lacking. And now we're saying let's give it an opportunity to be existent by creating an environment, an enabling environment to make sure that this thing is feasible. But somebody comes here and says, no, it is wrong. And also, Madam Speaker, this issue of thinking that this 7 years is just going to benefit maybe these MPs here, the president and the councillors, it is also wrong. We are saying that this thing is going to be there forever and ever. The people that will come after are going to benefit the same way because they are going to have the 7 years and they're going to be able to work in the 7 years. So, Madam Speaker, I am compelled to stand here before this House and declare without any reservation that Bill number 3, SWI, Bill number 3, Bill number 3, Wuchi, Bill number 3, Bonzekuti. Madam Speaker, I hope that by the end of this whole process, people will realize that this is not about antagonism. This is not about a Gochkora constitution like what they want to say. The constitution is definitely made for that. When people formulate the constitution, they are saying that one day we're going to sit down and say, no, this is no longer relevant. This is no longer applicable. This is no longer suitable. And we should be able to amend it easily without even flinching because it's our constitution. It's as simple as all that. It must never be taken like we're now desecrating the constitution, we're now doing ABC to the constitution. The constitution is a sacred book. This
Honorable
book
Chuma, you are left with 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. This book can be changed. It is not cast in stone. And when we do change it here and change it legally, it is very correct. So go home and sleep peacefully knowing that you have done nothing wrong. Yes, I know there are people that have written speeches for people. There are people that have promised money for people. But go and tell them that no, Parliament has done nothing wrong. It is legal to actually do this. As I sit down, Honorable, as I sit down, Madam Speaker, may I rest assure all members here that Cherowaga Puamari is another opposer. I also oppose it, fair. chiri fair ichi. Bill number 3, bozwe kuti.
Thank you, Honorable Chuma. Honorable members.
Point of clarification.
Order, Honorable. Order, Honorable members. Honorable members, order. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Moyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am, for affording me this opportunity to also add my voice to this topical and trending constitutional amendment bill number 3, and to thank all members of this august house for the manner in which they have handled themselves until now. That is exactly what we call parliament. Terry Class, a certified professional coach, recommended that seeing things through a different lens allow leaders to consider issues holistically, thereby avoiding groupthink. At the tail of this robust debate, Madam Speaker, ma'am, citizens who are always at the center will benefit from the pro-people laws that we will make. Madam Speaker, ma'am, I'm just worried about the debate that I've been seeing here. It's more like we are undermining the public hearings that were done, Madam Speaker, ma'am. No one is respecting what was done. Emails were used, and no one was barred from using email. During public hearings also, I saw members of the public contributing to say they want 10 years, like in words. I'm just worried to say, some saying I'm representing this constitution, they said no. Why are we undermining the public hearings that were carried by Parliament of Zimbabwe according to section 141? Figures don't lie, Madam Speaker, ma'am. 537, I want to repeat, 537,102 were in support, in addition to those who were there at public hearings. And only 2,935 said no. And someone have got guts to stand up in this house and say, I reject all the 22 clauses. You are not even guided by the people that we represent. I support this bill because it's a progressive bill. We are doing this for our nation. It's very important to say that. But also, Madam Speaker, allow me to thank the chief whips. They've been steadying the ship. I think you were seeing all the drama, but we're trying to make sure that we sustain the pressure, including you, honorable speakers. You know, there was here and there near fist fight, but you tried by all means to make sure that we go through this process. Allow me, Madam Speaker, ma'am, to speak on clause 4 and 9. And to begin with, I was voted a councillor for Ward 9 in 2013. 2018, Member of Parliament from Mpopoma, Pelanda. And in 2023, Member of Parliament from Mpopoma, Mzilikazi. So to say elections are divisive, I know, because I've been in this game. I have participated in these elections. And our people, they don't benefit from the posters that we put when we are campaigning. They don't benefit from fake manifestos that we give to our people. They benefit from the real development that we are supposed to give. Therefore, lengthening the electoral cycle is a progressive bill, and we must support it in total. We are not doing this for the people that want to be voted into office. We are doing this for the people so that they can heal from the electoral divisive and toxic. This is our Zimbabwe, and we must do this for our people. So I'm done with clause 4 and 9 that I'm in support. Clause 3.
change of the electoral system from direct presidential election to election by president. I think we need to reflect. 2002 presidential elections, they were recognized by or declared by EU leaders that they were not free and fair. Let's go fast forward to 2008. There was June runoff. There was short sleeves. That was the presidential election. 2013, again, it was declared not free and fair, especially from opposition side. And the nation was put in an election mode. 2018, again, not free and fair elections and credible elections. So I'm looking at the history that we are trying to cure. In 2018, someone put people in that election mode. It was because of the election mode that was given to the people of Zimbabwe. So what we are doing this for the people of Zimbabwe. Those people who are put in that election mode until now, going to 2023, we were told that we are anticipating to have June June elections again. We are putting people in that election mode. We are going to vote, Let's allow members of parliament that represent the same people to elect their president. There is no problem. In fact, if you are allowed to impeach a president according to section 97, we are given the powers to impeach. So it's just a realignment. Since you allow us to impeach, we are now voting the same president as we represent our people. Clause 18 and 19. This one was a no. However, I commend the Honorable Minister for putting that amendment clause to say I will leave Zimbabwe Gender Commission as it is. I think it's commendable, so there is no debate about that. I don't want to say you are listening, Honorable Minister, but this one is appreciated. Thank you very much. On clause 22, national peace and reconciliation, of course by operation of law, and according to section 251, it ceased its operation. But my question is, Honorable Minister, what are you going to do, or you have got a successor plan to say national peace and reconciliation ceased its operation by operation of law, but what's next in terms of the outstanding issues that were not finalized? I hope you answer to that. On clause 2, the Registrar General has the biodata for everyone, and we push this as opposition. In my earlier response when I was given to clarify, I said we haven't changed. My question on this one, I support this in total. My question, Honorable Minister, maybe if you answer then to the nation to say, as you reach or attain 18 years, are you automatically registered? You realize what was happening, especially from the opposition side. The youth will be asking you, if I go and register to vote, what are you giving me? Are you going to give me $5? Are you going to buy me Torino? Are you going to give me money for what? For refreshments? I can't go and register for nothing. And we are saying, so you can't say this bill, I reject it in total. We are representing the youth who are attaining 18 years. And you are saying, as you attain 18 years, automatically you are in the voters' roll. And then you say, I reject it total. Then we have to ask, are you representing the what? The people. Madam Speaker, ma'am.
Order, Honorable Moyo, you are left with 2 minutes.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker, ma'am.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker, ma'am.
I recognize Honorable.
Madam Speaker, may we add the Honorable's time, maybe we extend it further 5 minutes.
I second. Honorable Speaker.
Order, Honorable members. Totenda, Honorable Minister. Hanza tuskwedzera maminister abvumirana tichitanga kuti munhu wega 10 minutes kuitira kuti munhu wese aone kudhibheta tese tipere pashaya anozoti mangwana ndakarambidzwa kudhibheta. Totenda. 2 minutes, Honorable Moyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, ma'am. So what has been happening, like I said, I won in 2013. I won as well in 2018 and in 2023. What happens, our youths on the voting day, they will be there in the queue because of the appetite to vote, but only to be told that they are not in the voters' roll. And we are addressing that so that there won't be any issues on the very voting day. All our youths will participate in our governance issues. So this bill is addressing that. And this is a reform that we are saying, Honorable Minister, thank you very much as we represent our youths. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, ma'am, let us unite our people and heal the divisions of the past. Let us forge a new national consensus. History will remember us as 10th Parliament for transforming a potentially divisive bill into an instrument of national unity. Just as one tree can never make a forest, never a drop of water make a river, there is power in union. Let's all focus on national development for our people and achieve our national development strategy 2 priorities. I so submit, Madam Speaker, ma'am. This is worth voting yes to CAB3.
Thank you, Honorable Moyo. Honorable Kambuzuma.
Mangwanani, Madam Speaker, ma'am. Ndaona zvakakosha kuti nditaure nechaicho chaicho kwandinenge ndatumiwa kwandakabva. Ndinoda kutenda panguva ino vanhu vehurungwe vati ndiuye muno kuvamiririra ndichitaura zvishuwo zvavo maringe neamendment bill number 3. Ndisati ndapinda ipapo ndoda kutanga ndatenda Minister of Justice, our leader of government business, Honorable Zimbabwe, and the team Magweta wakakwenenzvera kubva kuministry kusvika pano paParliament. Basa iri ranga richibatwa kwete nemunhu mumwe chete asi ranga richibatwa nekuti chiite chinhu chevanhu vamwe chete. Ndinoda zvakare kutenda vese vakadhibheta muno. Aiwa basa vanhu rakabatwa. Ndinoda kutenda chief whip wabva kudhibheta. Kana tiri muno ndanyatsoona umwe chete kuti hapana mwana wokwama. Ini nhasi tiri vana vemunhu umwe chete. Asi zvazvinoitawo hapashayeka dumbu, nyangwe riri dumbu raamai munoberekwawo vamwewo manesi, poberekwawo varairidzi, pozoitawo vanoba vanotora. Unotoshaye kuti hura uyu umwe chete here, asi tinozwa kuti vana vaamai vedu hatingavarase. Urungwe West yati tiuye kuno tizotsigira amendment bill number 3. Chokwadi vanhu vakatimuka neuwandu pakaitwa mapublic hearings aya. Zvaive shungu dzekuda kunotaura zvishuwo zvavo. Vari nekutenda zvakare mutungamiriri watakapiwa naShe baba vedu vaMnangagwa neSecond Republic, nokuti akachichaira bhazi reSecond Republic ndivo president vedu vaMnangagwa. Isusuwo tingoriwo mawindi tiri mubhazi imomo nemakondakita tichinyora. Saka maparliamentarians tisuka maconductors, mawindi ndiwo macancelors. Vakati aiwa ini bhazi haringafambe rega kana risina munhu anonyora matickets. Isu tikati matickets tinonyora, ndosaka nhasi tiri pano kunyora matickets. Matickets zvinoreva maconstituency atinomiririra. Macancelors variwo mawindi vanenge vachilodha mabhazi. Patinenge tiri kuno mawadzi edu anenge akabatwa nemacancelors. Saka bhazi redu rinofamba riri rimwe chete, rina driver waro baba vaMnangagwa, rine macancelors acho. Isusu maconductor tisuka tinenge takabata mareceipt book. Handi kana CDF ikauya ndiwo unosainira uri pamberi kuti chaita sei, ndiwo unenge uchicheya committee. Saka bhazi redu riri kufamba. Vati endai munoti bhazi rifambe, chitima ngachifambe chiende kusvika 2030. Izvi zvakataurwa 2017 chakanga chiri chiprofita, hatina kuzviona. Mwari vakanga vatotaura kare, isu tauya kuzadzisa muno. Vaviri vatatu havo vangaite nharo nokuti havazi vese vanopinda machechi atinopinda, vamwe vanenge vaine chechi vaya vanopinda havo asi vari mukereke iyoyo. Saka muno nhasi tiri mukereke. Kereke yakapiwa profesi yekuti 2030 tinenge tapedza sekutaura kwakaita iye mambo Jesu, nokuti zvinenge zvasungwa pasi pano nekudenga zvasungwaka. Vatungamiriri vanogadzwa nesu naMwari. Ukaona wakagara ipapo Mwari vakazvitendera. Saka ndanzwa umwe achitaiwa 2030 hazvizi. Saka zvoreva kuti hauna kutenderwa kudako uende. Isusu takatenderwa naMusiki tigare muno tichiita basa renyika. Tine macloses 3-4 mazhinji ataurwa asi handingaregedzeka kutaura nokuti ndatosimukawo kutenda ndichitumwa nevanhu veHurungwe West. Hurungwe kwedu tinoti Hukwe, tinoti UK, kureva kuti Hurungwe kwakanaka, Hurungwe kwakati ngwee, kuratidza kuti hakuna zvipomerwa zvakawanda. Aiwa president vedu CAB3 tiri kuisapota seHurungwe West constituency. Hurungwe West constituency iri kuti CAB3 iri kutibatsira especially kunyanyanyanya pa clause number 3 apo tiri kuti aiwa parliament ngaisarudze kamutungamiriri wenyika ko zvakaipei kana munhu achigona. Ndiye Mozisi wedu ari kutitungamirira kuenda kuKenani. Hatingafambi tega kana tina mutungamiriri. Uyezve mutungamiriri ane unyoro anoteerera vanhu. Vanonzwa vanhu vedu we. Isu kwedu kwatinobva kwakusina kana marodhi ematara. Muchedzerwa marodhi dzinofamba dzakasviba-sviba idzi. Asi iko zvino zvitave nadzo kumusha uku. Mabhazi emazuva ano ane maketani taatisingazive kuakwira. Vanhu vekumusha kwedu vaakuakwira nekuda kweSecond Republic. Vari kuti endai munotaura kuti aiwa isusu taisirara kuzvigayo tichida kugaisa mangwana asi mazuva ano tinoenda kuchigayo uchidzoka. Chii chaikonzeresa mafuta edhiziri rainetsa kumaservice station? Asi iko zvino izvi hakuna munhu anorarira paservice station, hakuna munhu anorara kuchigayo. Vana amai vari kuenda kuchigayo vachidzoka nokuti vanongosvika uchigaisa mafuta aripo. Term extension iri kungonzi makore mairi basi. Makore mairi akanakira kuti maproject atakavamba sekwedu isu kune Binga Road. Vanhu vanoenda kuBinga kuenda nekubulawayo kure, asi mukaenda neHurungwe pedyo munenge mabvisa makilomita 200 kana maenda nekweduku kana muchienda nekuHurungwe. Tara yava kutogadzirwa izvozvi. Toda kutenda president neSecond Republic 15 kilometers kureva kuti mabhazi aya machene anonyora kuti road hakuna akunesvika kwedu kuna Sanyati. Izvozvi vakomana vazere uku vari kudira nhengi tara kuti tifambe mumuchedzewa tisifamba zvinoita adedu muno muHarare. Harare yako kumusha kwedu. Second Republic tichitenda zvakare nemaministers apresident avari kufamba nawo havafambi vega vanofamba nevakomana. Aiwa havasi kusarudza vakati hakuna nzvimbo ichasara. Kwedu uku tisu tanga tiri vekupedzesera. Kana zvikoro chaizvo taitorera tigere pasi, tainyora tiri pasi pezvimiti. Asi ndikakutaurire hama dzangu mukasvika kune chikoro chiri mudenga chakaturikidzaniwa kudai chiriko chinopinda usimwa mvura yeimomo, usipinda usingaende kublair toilet, usishandisa uriyo mune matairos. Chikoro chepamusoro chemhando yepamusoro chakavakwa neSecond Republic. Saka vari kuti endei munetaura kuParliament kuti tineda kuti vasvike 2030 vapedzese nhengi. Chikoro ichi chipere ndava. Taakuda kuti chive chikoro chamazuva ano. Maticha abve kunaine kunakadzidzisa kwedu kumusha uku. Ndoshoko ravati endei munepereka kuParliament. Kana usina kune doma izvozvo usadzoke kuno. Ndikati aiwa ndikune vataudza kana ndasvika kunhengi kuParliament. Saka izvozvo vari kutetekera kuti ndiri kutaura here sekutaura kwavati ndikane dome ndiri muno. Zvinondadoma kuti aiwa tine tenda Second Republic napresident wedu waMnangagwa kuti aiwa 2030 ndavaende. Bhiri ndaripinde rakadaro rese bhiri ndaripinde pasina zviri kubvisiwa kana kuwedzerewa. Ndariende. Bhiru ndariende, ndaripinde rakadaro. Ndaripinde rese rakadaro. Mangwana vanenge vasitenda. Vari kutenda vanhu veHurungwe West. Madam Speaker memo vari kutenda vasifara vasiti aiwa president vedu vane unyoro vanitetekera mashoko atinenge tataura ikoko ndavarambe vakadaro tisavanamatira ndava nyika inonzi nenamatiwa nevaene isishandiwa nevaene saka vati aiwa ende mukavataudze president kuti kuno tiri kuatigira
Masarwa ni 2 minutes.
Ndinotenda mubati wechigaro aiwa ndiri kutetekera kutaura kwamaita tikabva vati zvakare clause yemavice president ukanzi aiwa ndavaende vakaenzanirana hapana anoda kukurira mbi yake vese ndavaende vakadaro vari same kureva kuti vanenge vakaenzana hakuna anoda kuti mubi yake azekurira mbi yake kana vanzi vese mavice vese vanenge vari mavice saka vakati ndapapindiwe pakaita sei ndaparegerewe pakadaro saka isu tikuti ndapaende pakadaro tinoda kutenda dare rino nekudhibheta kwese nekukurudzira amendment number 3 isu kwedu tiri kuti aiwa mwari wekudenga ndaachengete mutungamiriri achengete makondakita kureva imimi ma-mp muri muno vachengete mahwindi kureva makanzura ari kumusha tese tabenefita tese tiite zvinooneka zvinobatika nokuti vana vatiri kutungamirira ndevezimbabwe havazi vepati nemashoko iwayo mubati wechigaro ndinoda kukutendai ndigotendazve vese vakadhibheta nevachadhibheta. Haleluya.
Order, honorable members. Honorable Minister Chimbomirai. Toda kutenda honorable Deputy Chief Whip nemashoko avataura. Ndigotenda parliament inoi nekuita basa rataita kusvika pateri nhasi uno. Ma-honorable members hapana chakamboipa tinozviziva tese kuti kana tichidhibheta bill kuti unosumuka uchisapota kana kuti unosumuka uchiopoza hapana chinenge chakamboipa. Usina kutuka kwaunoita, usina hate speech, usina reckless statement dzaunenge uchita hapana chakamboipa nokuti kana takagara muno ndozvinhu zvatakatarisira kuti sedza uchaopoza kana kuti uchasapota of which it's your right hapana chakaipa pane nhau idzodzo. Saka toda ngoramba tichikurudzirana honorable members kuti kana tauyaka ngatingoyoi tine chinhu chimwe chete chekuti tiite zvinhu zvekuti basa redu rifambe nekuti zvazvinoitaka panozongopera zuva shiri inozongofa sekufa kwayaita ipapa. Saka it's a word of advice yatiri kungopanana maita basa. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ma'am. Madam Speaker, I think I should start by thanking you and all the presiding officers who were there from 2:15 until 12:15. Madam Speaker, in the history of our parliament from 1980, we have never had a bill that has been debated like this constitutional bill. We even had to bend the rules to allow members to repeat what others had said. We sat until midnight so that each and every voice of our parliamentarians is heard. We are also aware that there are those that were vocal, that wanted to disrupt, but the moment that they said what they wanted to say, they immediately disappeared. They didn't even wait to hear what others who had not debated before them were going to say. And as a matter of statistics, Madam Speaker, in 2017, when we had our first constitutional amendment bill, post the enactment of the 2013 Constitution, only 19 members debated during the second reading speech. And in 2021, when we had our second amendment of the Constitution, only 18 members debated. This one, we have had every member who wanted to debate, debating. In other words, we had over 200 members debating. I will reconcile with the clerks tomorrow, and when I respond, I will give an accurate figure. But it's a record that I don't believe will be broken in a very, very long time. Having said that, Madam Speaker, I really wanted to continue to the committee stage to give my response, but I had given my word that during my discussions with my colleague ministers, I indicated that I would want Honorable Kazembe, who is the Minister of Home Affairs, is an IT expert, to respond specifically to issues of the Registrar General being the custodian of the voters' roll. The role of the Registrar General is simply to register and keep the voters' roll, which will be inspected and used by the body that is tasked with doing the election. So I promised him and I indicated to him that, Honorable Minister, I want you to go and rest because I'm envisaging this debate happening until the early hours of the morning, so I want you to be fresh. So I cannot renegade on my word and proceed to the committee stage. I also promised Honorable July Moyo, is our local government expert in cabinet. He has got a wealth of historical experience and expertise in delimitation. I want him to respond to members so that members, when we go into committee, they are fully equipped with correct information pertaining to delimitation, pertaining to voter registration. And therefore, I also indicated to him, you saw they were patiently seated here, but I allowed them to go. I also indicated to the AG, she's allowed to speak here, to say that, listen, you are the AG, you head our drafting team. Perhaps you can clarify on issues pertaining to the instructions and the policy that you were given to say we want a bill that does not touch on term extension, which does not touch on term limits, which will do specific issues. To speak to it to honorable members so that they appreciate in a summary manner before I give my responses in general to all that you have debated in Parliament. In other words, I'm going to give my second reading speech responding to, in fact, my responding speech to everyone who debated. And I also indicated to the Chief Whip that me and my team have been capturing what you have been debating. So the remainder of this evening and tomorrow morning will consolidate that and include it in my response tomorrow. So we do not want to exclude responding to anyone who has debated today. So we want to capture what you have debated and include it in my response. Because of that, we are going to now to proceed to respond, starting with the ministers that I've indicated and the Attorney General, and then I will then deliver my concluding response to each and every debate, even though I'm going to cluster because some of it was repetition, and then we proceed to the second reading, to the committee stage. Having said that, Madam Speaker, ma'am, I wish to thank everyone who have endured the long journey from 2:15 to around 12:30 midnight, and move that debate to now adjourn.
I put the question that the debate be now adjourned. Those who are of that opinion will say aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed and the debate is adjourned. To what date, Honorable Minister?
Today in the afternoon, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
I move that the House do now adjourn.
It has been moved that the House do now adjourn. Is there any debate? I put the question that the House do now adjourn. Those who are of that opinion will say aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed and the House is adjourned. To what date, Honorable Minister?
To today at 2:15 in the afternoon, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The House is adjourned.